We go.
Yeah.
Well, we're live now, Peter.
Hello! Welcome, everybody, to the first ever Minnesota Twin Cities playtesting group. Oh, gosh, no, let me mute that. Whoops. Mute that. Ha ha ha.
We're still a couple of kinks to work out.
Yep, but this is a great day for playtesting, as every day is. But what we were just saying is that we were just testing out some Parsec earlier and found that it is very, very possible to stream to multiple computers at the same time. And my favorite thing we just did 30 minutes ago, which I just told Mark, is that I was playing using a controller connected to my desktop, parseced in, but it was super laggy. But then I parseced in with my laptop with no lag for visuals, and I was able to play with my controller hooked up through my PC, but then watch the gameplay through my through my laptop with no issues.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to make this work, and so because with everybody stuck indoors, we figure, well, we gotta get our games tested, and that includes multiplayer games. And so you're trying to how are we gonna figure this out? And so we came up with the solution of using Parsec, which, if you don't know, is a remote streaming software. It's sort of remote desktop, but it's designed for games. So it's with extreme low latency in mind. And so we're setting that up. So developers have sent us their builds, and then we put them on a server that we're running that will then play them, and then anybody can join in with their own controller at their own machine to play, and then it streams here on Twitch. So this is our first test run, and for now, Peter and I will be playing, but if anybody wants to join, they can make themselves known in the Twin Cities game dev Discord, and we can put the link to that in the Twitch chat, which let me do right now.
I got it.
You got it? All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we're going to be here for a couple hours. We're going to play a couple games, including one that, Peter, you have worked on. Right.
Mark, man, you're kind of in and out, my friend.
Oh no. I'm just saying we're going to be testing a game that you worked on.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to get that one tried out too. And in fact, I want other people to play it because I've played it and I think it's cool, but I just might have that developer bias. So I want to know that I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Let me actually grab because we have instructions for players that I wrote up. So I'll send a link to that exact message so people can take a peek at that. And it should also hopefully invite them to the server. But we don't know what we're doing here. So click a couple of those, and if you want to join us, go ahead and let us know. You can also let us know in the Twitch chat, and we'll see if we can throw you in there. But in the meantime, why don't we get started? Peter, you want to start with one of the UW Stout games that we've got on the list?
Oh, yes. I am super excited to play Pestilence. I hear Pestilence is Pestilence, so...
Okay, well, let's get going on that. I'll need to load up Pestilence.
Per second.
Dale, you know we're live on Twitch right now, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's entertaining for other people too.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. So, Peter, you should have access now?
Oh, yeah, I am in.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, I need to give you mouse and keyboard control. Don't I?
Oh, actually, I just got controller. Or do I need mouse and keyboard?
You know, I don't really know. We're going to have to find out as we move along.
Go for it. Yeah.
Do you have control?
I do. Let's do it.
Okay.
Alos used to sit among the gods until he lost control of a disease.
Well, fully voice acted, amazing.
To pay for his negligence, he was banished to Earth, tasked with recapturing his plague. Only once he had gained control, would he be allowed to walk among the gods once again. B, skip.
It's the moment you're given the chance.
Alos, your Pantheon has instructions for you. A to continue. Walk around, use this. Yep. Cool. Walk around, do a thing. Right stick, do a thing. Teleportation has been reduced as well. Blinking, yes. Left mouse or left bumper? Left bumper. Oh, blink. Yeah, here we go. Adequate. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, yes. I can only blink 3 times. Watch the orb next to your body closely to display your blink charges. Yeah. Fortunately, as we did around this hindrance, immediately succeeding one blink with another, blinking right as the prior blink ends. Oh, interesting. So there's a timing. Oh, okay. There's timing to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's taking advantage of chaining blinks. Try chaining blinks now. Oh, okay. Hold on. So I have to build the charges up. Chaining blinks. So it's like one. Okay. So you can. Oh, okay. Retain a bit of your pestilence energy. Fill this meter. You'll briefly slow time. Neat. Rice. Oh, rice bumper. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Hearing you kind of barrel through it, I played this game a little earlier, and I think one of the things that it's a really unique mechanic that requires explanation. And I think as designers, you wonder like, oh, I need to design something simple that's easy to intuit. But it sometimes would be more rewarding to have a complicated system that the player dedicates themselves to learn. But the tricky part is how do you introduce systems like that to players?
Oh yeah, like this is a very front-loaded. So one of the best things we're doing about this playtesting is that we're also going to be giving critique and not giving feedback. So all players, and including developers, if you're in the chat right now, also can also be talking about this in person. But yes, this is a very front-loaded tutorial. That's okay because this is just more like a prototype, and so it needs to like explain a lot of its mechanics early on.
Right.
Yeah. So
a full-size version of this might introduce it a little slower than this, perhaps.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe repeat itself a few times because, as we all know, gamers don't read instructions, and so you need to tell them over and over again, which is not their fault because everybody does it. Like even developers, when we're playing other people's games, we also don't read instructions.
I'm doing it right now.
You're doing your best, but it's really hard to actually read all the instructions. It's amazing how little patience we have for stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, you're dead.
When are you going to follow that graffiti instruction?
I actually. Oh no, Mark, do you know what to do? I actually totally forgot to. While you were talking, I did not read the thing, and I forgot what the thing told me to do.
So playing this earlier, when you are zipping through those spiders, you learn this later, I think, which is weird because you can die from it before you learn it. The spiders are like time bombs. So once you touch them, a few seconds later they blow up and then respawn. Yep. So the idea is that you can't, later your path will be blocked by these spiders. And you can't walk fast enough necessarily to avoid them, but you're supposed to move over to that body in the upper quadrant of this room. And on the wall, you can see written in graffiti, which is actually kind of the worst way to write text because graffiti is not easy.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So now the tutorial continues.
Okay. Destroy them by blinking through the wretched creatures. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense now. Now I'm like, okay, now it's an offensive ability.
Yeah.
Like,
so you are now inside the mind of the person who is laying under those rubble. And so it's kind of like a dream realm kind of alternate thing, and where you sort of wipe their mind of the disease. That's the metaphor at play here, and then you can clear the space.
Yep, there you go.
And then there's a giant dog.
Yes, I like it. Baby boy, don't you sass me about tutorials. But also like. The favorite thing about this game that I saw in its in the reel from last week's presentation, was how masterful the demo was, and that there was a player like just showing off how this game can be mastered too. And I was like, oh, that looks good. Like I was like, oh yeah, like this game has that early level play, but then you have this high level play of just constantly being like blinking, and like it takes rhythm for sure. And like I'm figuring it out a little bit, but even with parsecs like delay, oh man, like this feels great still. Like I'm having no issues timing out my dodges except for the part where I died. But
right, so you dying there, that's just totally your fault, right?
Yeah, that's me being bad. That's not parsec's fault. No.
Right. It's not the developer's fault. It's not the technology. It's just Peter needs to get good.
Yes. Oh, No, I'm just very impressed. Like the I don't know. This is the first time I'm checking Parsec to the next. Oh god, I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
Parsec has impressed me with this.
Yeah.
My question is now. Hold on, we have 11 viewers in the stream right now, which is great. I want to see if anyone else wants to play this, because I'm enjoying myself already. But if someone else wants to try it, I want you to Parsec in with. Oh gosh, I keep trying to get the same spot. Oh my god. Okay. So, Mark, you commentate for a little bit. I'll focus on the game because talking and gaming is a hard thing. That's clear as a little bit.
Go ahead and see if you can make your way through. I will fill in some details. So we mentioned this at the top before a couple folks joined us. The way this is working is that we're promoting into the server that we've set up to play these games. And so ultimately we want you to join us and play along. So if you would like to play this game, you can go ahead and join the Twin Cities Game Dev Discord server, and there are instructions there for everything you need to know to download Parsec, create an account, and become friends with our server so that you can take control of this game on your own machine. Lag's pretty low. It does vary from person to person, and that's one of the reasons why we're trying to testing out tonight. We want to see how this works. So if you're interested, go ahead and click those links that are in the Twitch chat. The first one is an invite to the server. The second one is a link directly to the instructions. And we'll see if we can get a couple more people in as we go. Otherwise, Peter and I can take care of these, and we can see how far Peter gets in this game.
Nope.
So, Peter, you think there's something you're missing at that point, or like because of your not in tutorial instruction reading?
Oh, no. I am just going fast, and I'm not going slow. And the game works. Yeah.
Maybe this is a way of the game teaching you that you just need to tiptoe through some of this stuff. That you don't.
Oh, this is clever camera angle work, by the way. Like
you can rotate the camera, I think, with the D-pad. Or maybe it's the bumper. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's a D-pad. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of although there's that the default view is fine.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just trying to like speed run this.
Right.
But I shouldn't be, because I do not have the stutter step locked down here.
We're 15 minutes in. We're just getting started. Feel free to. I mean, I'm also very comfortable watching you die over and over again.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh come on. Oh yes. Oh, the links. Oh gosh. Yes. Alex is asking for the links. Mark.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, see, if I take this slow, I'm fine. I want to go fast. Oh, getting greedy. Oh, what? Oh, disagree game. Hitbox. Gotta check those hitboxes. Oh, what? Okay, that one was lag. I will make it past this first section, I promise. But someone else, please, I want you again. We do want to test out Parsec to its highest capability. So if you want to again hop into those sweet Discord links. Oh god, I'm just gonna die here. But we want to see if up to like we have how many people? 8 people now. I want to see 8 people be in this all connected into the Parsec, and then everyone watching from there. Oh what? Oh yeah. There's the mine guy. I'm gonna do the mine thing. Link.
So it seems like the flow of this game is that you wander through these sort of landmines of these spiders, and then you find a pestilence stricken human,
yep.
And then the second phase is the killing of spiders.
Yep.
It's a pretty sad.
Yeah, it's very Pac-Man-y, actually. I like it. Oh, I have infinite? Oh, yeah, I can just go? Yeah, heck yeah. So this is basically cool Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it.
Like, I have no qualms with that, because, like, Pac-Man as a game is fun. It has a good challenge. Like, Pac-Man is definitely like a challenge game.
Those spiders are pretty quick. Like, you have to, like, cut them off and use the zip to catch up on them. because you have like a minute to get them all.
Oh, I have a timer. I should keep going. It says eyes remaining. Did it tell me to do anything about the eyes yet? I don't remember this.
I don't know what to do about the eyes.
Okay, yeah, no. It hasn't introduced the mechanic to me yet, at least.
Yeah, perhaps. I think one of the things that, like, I think we've been ebullient in our praise, but the game is it does feel a little clunky, and I think a lot of that is due to the fact that the level design has a really good execution in one element, and then I think but the systems that it's developed are robust enough that I think that their level design needs to match that, and I'm not sure it's there yet. But as a proof of concept, it's really, really strong. And I think that's
really fun. Like,
it's interesting because when we as developers, as independent developers, like Peter, you and I, a lot of our peers, we don't have this opportunity that students have, which is to develop these vertical slices without really a lot of concern about finishing a lot of, really like fully completing a lot of these elements. Like this game, the team that made it may wish to move on, but they develop it in a different way than I think a lot of us develop our prototypes. And it's really fascinating the kinds of things that they have the ability to do with that format, and then the things that they're restricted by in that format, and vice versa, right? The things that we're not able to try out or develop or do because we're not in an academic setting and we don't develop games in this way. So it was really, really interesting to watch all the different UW Stout games and how they approach that, and how different an experience it is from the way like I make my games.
Oh yeah, like I think they had motion capture capabilities, and I think that was the coolest jam ever.
Yeah, they have all these great resources, and they're able to not worry about like if we have to be so economical with the things we try, because it can lead to such all this wasted time where we learn and enjoy ourselves. We don't end up with anything as a result of it. And the thing with that when you're in an academic environment, you have the freedom to like play with all these amazing tools and do all this really cool stuff, and then use like 5% of its capability, and it's not a waste of time, right? Like it ends up being really beneficial to first your education, but also then it gives you a solid platform to then use those tools in a larger way on a future project. Whereas when you're on your own, you have to pick and choose very carefully what you're going to engage with, because every choice you make is like 6 months of downtime if it's not quite exactly right. You don't have as much freedom to experiment as you do in a setting where your ultimate goal is a final project and a presentation rather than a shipping product, right?
Yes. It's very metaphorical in that I'm being very impatient with this game, despite this game being a game about like being stealthy and being patient.
I think there's a bit of a contradiction in that the main mechanic is about dashing and chaining, and kind of it almost has like a dexterity adjective, right? Like it's dexterous, right? But I think the optimal play, at least in that early half, is much more slow and methodical, right? Yeah. And so I think that leads to it sizzles a little bit against itself, perhaps.
Yeah, again, very Pac-Man-y. I think that's kind of what whether they intended to or not. Like, once you get the power-up thing, you're like, gotta go get all my pellets, or go get the dangerous pellets and stuff like that.
Right, then it's frenetic, which is pretty cool. I wonder if the team would benefit from, in that earlier stage, there being more threat, right? So instead of tiptoeing around the landmine spiders, it was more of a hiding from them and sneaking past them.
Yeah, like they could have been like as opposed to just landmine spiders, they could have been moving around like as they are now.
Yeah, like on patrol paths or something, or maybe they were or like Pac-Man, they're after you, perhaps.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that would be a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
But as it is right now, it's still the same idea, because like even though they're chasing you around and you're protecting and you're being you're trying to get away from them, you still want to blink through them, because that's still the way to play. Right. And then once you're on this segment, like when you're on the offensive, you still want to blink through them. Like it plays out the same.
Yeah.
Did it tell me that I could do things with the eyes? Because I don't remember this.
Well, you've got 3 seconds to take care of them.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh no.
I will say, oh yeah. So this whole reset, probably not intended, but like a quicker reset, like a reset on death, like a reset on the collapse would have been nice too. But that's okay. Like that's a minor fault. I have no issue on that.
Oh, you mean a reset to the beginning of the Mindscape?
Oh yeah.
The beginning of the level?
Like a checkpoint of some sort.
Yeah. I think that's it. It is interesting. Like a lot of these the student games, they have these little quality of life things that only come from like the last 6 months of a 2-year development process. So it's amazing, like just to see that they have like these fully featured UI systems, like their menus and stuff. Like I'm very impressed because usually projects made by independent developers that have been worked on as long as these students have worked on these generally don't have a lot of the systems that the students have to put into them. To demonstrate fluency in all the different aspects of a game project.
Yeah.
But yeah, checkpoints would be nice.
Yeah, checkpoints are definitely not necessarily not always needed, but they're just like nice, like you said, quality of life things are always a good thing that are good to include. I'm curious about this. Oh, that's right. My right stick. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what it does again. I'm like, I know right trigger is for slow down time.
I think a lot of that is because there's like mouse and keyboard controls, and so that UI element might be in service of that.
Oh yeah, this definitely could be a mouse and keyboard action for sure.
Yeah. The textures change a little bit. I like those little arrows on the floor. They just sort of
like the world changes and the graffitiness of it.
Is a little on the nose, but that's kind of the point. Like, oh, there you go.
I can blink through it. Okay, that's what it is.
You have to get it before it closes its eyelid.
Yes.
There's some way you can you just got to kind of zip to it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Maybe that barrier around it seems to be its like attention threshold, perhaps.
Yeah, and I just got to like blink into contact with it in the time frame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what am I doing? I keep forgetting I have infinite like blinks in this world, and it is just much faster.
Yeah.
So I gotta like aim and blink. Attack. Oh come on.
Yeah, before it turns on its little.
Oh, I missed it. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
Oh, Alex sent a friend request. Let's see if we can get them into play.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, can you go ahead and pause? I'm gonna go switch over to accept that.
Okay, sure, yeah. Okay, I'll swap it over. So what's happening now on the stream is that I have paused it, set down my controller, and Alex, who is in chat, has sent a friend request to Allbox, which is our you're seeing this in live right now.
Yep.
Alex,
I'll wait on here if Alex wants to connect.
Oh yes.
I will wait for the request down here, and we can play the Jeopardy theme. Meanwhile, I can't whistle. For a moment, I thought I could, but no.
So we got Hypermush, who just sent me a Discord message saying that, is there any questions yet? My only question is, why am I so bad at this game? Oh, yes.
Joseph from the Pestilence team just popped into Discord chat. I'm going to invite him into the voice chat room.
Oh, yeah.
And he can talk with us.
Where is he? Join the room. There we go, Joseph.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Awesome, fantastic. I just got back from emptying my apartment up at UW Stout. The trip took a little longer than expected.
Oh, dude, take your time.
Alex is now connected, and Alex, we should have you join the voice chat as well. Let me find you in the server. I've given you the event presenter role, so now you should have access to a voice channel called Event Stage. You can go ahead and join us in there, and you'll be live on the stream with us.
Yay! So exciting.
So Joseph, we've been playing the game for a little bit. Peter, what is your do you have notes to provide?
Oh yes, no. I was basically spending the first 20 minutes of the stream just dying, absolutely.
Oh my.
Yep. But it's very good. Like it's very snappy. We were just mentioning like little quality of life things, but the game just has good look, good feel.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
Yes, I'm in here now.
Hey, Alex.
I haven't used Parsec before, but I connected to it.
Yeah. Do you have a controller or mouse or keyboard?
Yeah, I have both. I'm gonna use my controller though.
Boom. Then you should go ahead and get going.
Real quick, I'm gonna have to give you. I keep forgetting to do this part. but I have to give you access to. You're using gamepad, but just in case.
Yeah. Yep. I have an Xbox controller.
All right, cool. Well, you can go ahead and play, and we can chat with Joseph a little bit more. You may want to restart.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. You are 14 seconds left.
Because that death will be on you.
Oh, my controller isn't working. That's okay. I'll use mouse and keyboard.
Okay.
No, I'm curious to see it all work out too. Is that
Yeah.
slowdown timer? Oh man, that's a bug. I see that.
What was that there?
During the pause menu, the slowdown timer, I saw the bar still go down during the pause menu.
Until he lost control.
Good catch. I think that's a pretty rare use case for us.
Oh yeah,
I know that.
it's like a minor thing.
Oh man, there is always a mountain of those little bugs. Just
Yeah.
edge cases that you had no idea. You're like, I thought I could imagine every possible scenario, and there's thousands you
Oh, of
never.
course.
And you'll fix half of those, and the rest you'll ship with, and half of those no one will ever see, but they'll be in there waiting to be triggered. You know.
Absolutely.
I think so earlier I was playing Starbound and I've been looking for this particular bug because I thought it was just me being bad at the game. But if you click take all on a chest as you leave its exit range, like your targeting range, or like you can interact with the chest, it just straight up crashes the game. And I did this like 4 times in a row, and I thought I was going crazy, but it was like, no, I think this is an active bug that just they can't figure it out. But, but yeah, you can't catch them all, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, we're curious, with grading and graduation having passed, if we will continue working on the project.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yes. I actually am curious about that. What has your team decided, or what did that talk go like?
Well, I wanted to make sure we spent at least a week not worrying about the game, and since the official release was last Friday, we haven't talked yet.
Cool.
So I don't know. Maybe a week off will make people change their mind. Either way.
Yeah. And I would say, like, as far as concept goes, this is fun. It's hard to say that take this to the next level. You'd have to give it more of a direction in terms of, like, do you want this to be a stealth game? Do you want to turn into RPG? Because this is very like you can put like a simple combat mechanic into this, and then have like the blink system be like your dodge effect, and then like there's a lot of ways you can take this game for sure. You can turn this into like a almost ninja-esque, or what is it? The game literally Stealth. I think that was the name of the game a long time ago.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we were kind of having a balance between stealth and combat.
Yeah.
So now to whoever's playing, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
We didn't have many tests where players were dying in the tutorial, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what your last prompt was. You're gonna have to do whatever that was to continue.
So Peter,
I don't remember what that was either.
Where really there's that body in the upper corner of the room. So Peter missed that one too, and I think part of it is that it's kind of hidden between those pillars.
Yes,
and yes, you can rotate the camera, but it's not as signposted. And one of the things you learn in tutorialization is that you can tell someone to do something 3 times, and they may even read it once or twice.
Yeah.
That's not likely, but let's just imagine they do. Then you're still going to have a lot of difficulty because players will just go naturally where it's intuitive for them to go.
Yeah.
And those 3 pillars tell the player that the interesting action is inside those pillars. And so
right.
I think
that makes sense.
That ends up being something now. So what you could have is in that tutorial, once it's time to move to the corner, maybe you can have that pillar at the top collapse.
Yeah.
Right? To sort of tell the player, hey, this way. So and then they could be like, oh right, I just read something about going to find a person under a rock or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's but you kind of have to do it.
Yeah. I was also gonna say, text-wise, I like the graffiti as far as I like the graffiti style, but it doesn't actually match like the world here perfectly. So like I just thought, but I couldn't. Now that I realized it said press F, I can read it, but beforehand it just looked like graffiti. But now
Sure.
it actually, staring at it, it does say press F, which is now like blatant. Now that I've seen it, but when I was playing through it, I was like, I don't know what to do here because I can't see like what the screen is. I just thought that was a piece of ambience in the background.
Alex, it looks like you found a bug here. Where
Oh.
you
That's
actually
what I'm
died.
here for.
You died in the mindscape, which is not something that's supposed to happen. And so it looks like it reloaded the game in a state where you cannot proceed.
Did he die in the Mindscape? Is that what happened?
Whoa, yeah, I think that happened. Yeah.
And if you head up to that exit in the
It's
top
an
right,
invisible wall. Yeah, it's invisible wall.
Interesting.
It's supposed to trigger the cutscene. And do you have three charges or do you have infinite charges? Out of curiosity.
3 charge. Well, in the Mindscape you can do whatever you want, but in the real world where you are now, you only have 3 charges.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the idea was that he died in the Mindscape, so I'm wondering if he continued to keep his Mindscapiness or not.
Right. Did you say so? When you say he died in the Mindscape, he wasn't attacked in the Mindscape because you shouldn't.
I thought I
be
killed the second spider, but maybe.
Yeah. You died immediately after killing that spider. So what must have happened is there must have been a frame or two where instead of re-entering the real world, or maybe you did re-enter the real world, but the spider then, before it was gone from the game world, triggered its kill the player mechanic, and then but that was before the game registered that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Trying to open the invisible door. Like these are all wheels within wheels, right?
Yeah. Should I restart?
Yeah, I guess you'll have to. I need to pay closer attention. I was
whoops, I
typing a message, so
I hit quit, not main menu. My bad. That was me.
Oops.
That's all right. I can load it up again.
My fault. Funnily enough, I got vibrate. My controller is still connected. As you were playing with mouse and keyboard, I still had controller haptic feedback, which was kind of cool.
That is why Alex's controller didn't work.
Yeah. So I will turn off my controller, and you'll be able to get in, or at least you should be able to. I'm just gonna disable it. There you go.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
If you both turn off your controllers, then Alex will turn theirs back on.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it varies game to game and how they handle it, but you should be able to. There's a solid chance it will work.
Yep.
It's one of the kinks we'll have to test out with the parsec, because like one of the things is like you know, Peter and I are playing color commentary. You know, should we be in on the parsec sessions, and does that mean we take up a player slot? And there's a lot of little ins and outs we're trying to test out with this test run here.
Does a controller have to be on when the game is launched, or can I hot plug it? Because it doesn't seem to be working right now.
Try it. Try turning it on. Turning it on. Or like, I don't know. Reconnect it as though you were playing it on your computer, because that should be all you need to do to get into. Yeah.
I'll try.
Again, it's gonna depend on what the game does, because sometimes you know. When I'm working on a game, it's not always. I don't always realize that. Oh, I always have my controller on, so I've not tested a scenario where I haven't turned my controller on yet. But also, Parsec recommends having your controller turned on before you open Parsec. And I think
I didn't do that.
I think they do that just to avoid edge cases and stuff. So this is not a normal plug a controller into a computer scenario, so it's not always easy to decipher.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I have to not move my mouse because I'm still Parkside.
Yeah, I think just speaking a little bit about the graffiti thing that Peter was saying, I think I agree with that. I think this game has a really interesting kind of it's almost sort of like emo noir kind of aesthetic, and I think the graffiti it feels separate from that.
Yes.
But I think part of it is legibility. I think Peter's right. Like, you don't always recognize that as words to read, but that's kind of a different problem than style. Like, if you want the graffiti aesthetic to be a big part of the aesthetic, there's no problem with that. Like, there's no reason you can't mix and match stuff and make it really work. I think legibility is probably the larger concern.
Yeah, I noticed. Forgive me, who's playing right now?
It's Alex. That's me.
Okay. Hello, Alex. It's interesting to me that whenever prompted to blink, you blink right towards the center, knowing that the spiders are the only thing in the room that can kill you. We've seen most players blink, you know, outside of that central area.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was like an attack. The blink.
Very fair.
Yep.
I suppose at this point in your playthrough, it is not yet defined.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I did in my first playthrough too. Is that like when I started up, I just blinked right to the spiders.
Yeah. So it's currently waiting for you. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I remember I saw the video, the trailers, and so I was like, oh yeah, spiders, you can blink through them to kill them. And so even though I was reading all the tutorial stuff, I did try to kill them, even though it told me I couldn't. And that's the value of playtesting, is like, you never really know if it's gonna make sense until the rubber meets the road. Until you put a bunch of idiot players in front of it, and they completely confuse the hell out of you, right?
Sure. That makes sense.
So here's the exact text there. Reading that exact text, it does not tell you to press F or press the action key to do a thing. It tells you to go to the body and do it, but it doesn't tell you exactly. It doesn't explicitly say go to the body, press X. It says go to body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yep. And that's I think that's where the disconnect was, is that there wasn't it told you a thing to do, but there was no like button command attached to it. Which is very annoying for a lot of games. Like, oh yes, press A to jump. But like we all hate that. But it's also something that's needed. Like it really is sometimes.
I love when games break that wall. When Toad says, press A to jump Mario. Like I don't know where A is, but yeah, I just was told to tell you to press A. Like I love that stuff.
Exactly.
It's like these are video games. There's no reason to deny it.
Yeah, no. Like you have to put that in there because you will come across also target market for this game. It will definitely be a lot of older crowd if you keep this darker steamy undertone, but you'll get a lot of kids that will want to play this for its fun themes and fun mechanics. So you have to have those little for all age ranges, all those different little key tutorial moments.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. Our tutorial was something that received a lot of attention, and what you're playing through is sort of the second wave of it, and maybe we need some balance between the two waves and then add some extra spice to it as well.
Yeah.
Our original tutorial was just slides of gameplay along with key presses because we hadn't made a fully interactable tutorial level yet.
Right.
And I think that slideshow worked pretty well. Described all the key presses along with a picture of what to do.
See, okay. I'm also glad that I am not the only one just dying in this area.
I was gonna say Alex is doing really, really good, and then died the same spot Peter did.
Oh yeah, no, I like this. This one stage has plenty of difficulty curve, and I actually want to compliment that.
As in it starts easy and gets harder.
Yeah, like a good game has a ramping difficulty curve, and this one stage by itself has that.
One thing I really like about this stage is that the tutorial gives you those two spiders, and they're kind of just they're not a threat. I died in the tutorial too, but I knew it was I shouldn't have, right? And so, but then this stage immediately presents you with a bunch of them in a row, and then you immediately get it. You're like, oh, I get it. Because probably you're like, well, if these spiders don't move, what threat are they to me at all? And then as soon as you see this, and the curve actually is pretty steep at that point, but it's the right kind of steep. It says it makes you ask the question, what are these spiders for? And then it confronts you with the answer, which I think is really strong because it's on your mind. Whereas if the tutorial didn't introduce the spiders at all and then introduced them later perhaps, or if it tried to explain to you that in order you need to actually weave through the spiders without getting killed, and that was the goal. If the tutorial spent time on that, then the reveal here wouldn't be as powerful. So I really like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we relied for a long time on the level 1 acting sort of like a tutorial.
Yeah.
And it was almost intended for players to try and fail a couple times before they really got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I suppose a comfy cozy tutorial is one thing, and trial by fire is another. I don't believe the game is intended to be easy.
Oh no, this. I think this one stage sets that up very nicely, saying that if you want to get into this game, this is what you're getting into. Be ready. It's gonna get a challenge. It's gonna get challenging quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I hope this doesn't come off as rude. How can we motivate the player to use the time slow like you aren't?
Oh, because it's honestly it being a bar feels like it's limited. So you want to save it for a particular moment.
Do I use spacebar for that? I actually missed it.
That's fine. It's I believe it's right click.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what you have to do is you have to make the player not be able to progress without using it. one of the things that a lot of high-end AAA shipping games do is similar, which is gives you an ability and never motivates you to use it because you can squeak by without using it. And I think that's what's happening here, is that the game should be I think one, it should introduce it a little bit clearer, because I too kind of forgot it existed. But apart from that, the game should hit you with a brick wall that you cannot progress with until you use that mechanic, so that you're sort of forced to at least try it out and see its benefits.
Yeah.
Sure. That would ultimately kind of require a lot of changes to this level, probably. So maybe it could be put into the tutorial, or maybe it could be put into the second half of this level, or maybe it could be a feature that's not introduced yet. You know?
Yeah. The place that I would put it is that I would introduce the eye in the same room with the spiders, and then have the player use the slowdown to break the eye, which I think is what you're wanting the player to do.
That's a good strategy.
That is one strategy. You were right when you said that you can squeak by without ever using the time slow. And I'm curious about that design decision, because I do like this idea that everything is possible without that optional move. But then it kind of devalues the move if you never necessitate it. I hear that.
Yeah. The quickest fix for me, I would say, is let it regenerate over time. Like, just have it passively regenerate, so that a player doesn't feel like, oh, like it's always there for me, but I can only use it in short bursts. Because right now it feels like a valuable asset, and so I never want to use it until I need it. If it regenerates over time, and maybe you just make it like last only like 1 or 2 seconds, as opposed to what it's full length right now, then the player will be like, okay, I can use it more freely, knowing that it'll come back to me, and I'll use it when I can, like when it's ready, like on a cooldown or something.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not touch much of the design of that particular mechanic, so I'll be sure to forward that message again, provided we continue working on this.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things with the time warp mechanic is that Parsec has some built-in lag into it as well, so it's like already the speed is bouncing around a little bit too. So
sure. So is someone playing this remotely right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when I used Parsec to test some of the other senior games, I noticed that there was considerable lag, almost to the point of it being unplayable, and that might have been my personal internet latency.
Yeah, that was actually. Yeah.
That's a factor here for sure, so I'll just say that.
Sure.
Yep. I would say we had that exact issue playing another game we're going to do later tonight, Ollie-Oop. I was playing on my desktop, and I thought I would have better chances with it, but my desktop was actually having issues. Switching over to my laptop had no problems keeping up with Parsec at all. So it might just be like a hardware thing potentially, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like occasionally you'll just be like, it's utterly magic. It feels like no lag at all. It's below the human perception. And then sometimes it's just like the worst ever. Like, for the most part, when it does work, it seems to work reliably, which is nice. That's kind of why I'm pretty confident moving forward with it for these events. But for some people, there isn't any fix at all. Peter and I were trying to deduce what was going on with his desktop, and we were like, oh, is there some problem with the way that the machine is streaming? And ultimately, it was just something we couldn't figure about his machine. And so that's going to be hard as we invite more players. We're going to have to make sure we keep an eye on whose experience is impacted by that.
Right.
But even then, there's this something like 100 milliseconds of lag. At that point, you start to really notice it. But you can still get the idea of what you're going for. So hopefully we won't be too worried about that, because no one's going for high scores.
For sure.
Yep. See, my question.
It's a good thing to test, because lag is actually a good way to test player reaction time. So if you're making a game that requires split-second accuracy on the point of the player just to play it, rather than to be good at it, then online lag is a good way to test to see if that is that works for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I also was told by one of my team members watching the stream that I should let you know, you can skip the intro cutscene by pressing enter. That's not told to the player.
Oh, okay, sure.
That's
upon
the beginning of the game cutscene was it also enter? Yeah, it was enter or B, right, with the controller.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
We could easily add text there that says you can skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh man.
So, quick question: is everyone in this chat currently parsec through to the all box right now?
On the voice chat?
Yes.
It's just you and Alex right now.
Oh really? Wait, hold on. I'm curious of like one thing I do want to say also is like how many people can handle, or how much parsec can handle with how many viewers at the same time through the actual.
Well, the viewer count shouldn't matter because the server is streaming to you, to Alex, and to Twitch. So every player that's added is just one more stream to them. But extra viewers won't matter because that's just Twitch's problem.
Yep.
We tested 3 before, and so this is only or 3 plus Twitch, and this is only 2.
Because I'm watching it on both sides here, and like the Twitch stream is doing pretty good as far as health goes. Like I'm not seeing too much lag. I'm catching my normal stream lag that I'm expecting for myself.
Yeah, and Twitch is just a couple of seconds behind, just in general.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure. So because I had the game server is running in my office here. I have it hooked up to a monitor. I'm trying to watch that so I can comment on things that are happening literally now and not things that happened 8 weeks ago.
Yep.
But I'll be the only one who can do that.
Okay. So outside of this one level that we've been here for about almost 30 minutes now, are there other levels beyond this?
There is a second level, yes. 3 if you include the tutorial.
Okay.
We intended to have a boss level, but it's easy to blame quarantine for that not getting done.
Oh.
It was ambitious for sure.
Oh, interesting. What would a boss fight be like for this game? What would you?
Yeah, so I was really happy with the just drawn out model for how the paper. I'm sorry, how the boss fight would go.
Sure.
One of our designers had the idea where it would be a room, and you may have noticed this ragged dog monster, and that was just so that we could give the boss a presence in the game. But the idea is that they would be in a room, a round room, similar to the tutorial, and they would be surrounded by 3 victims, and it would sort of be a time situation. So it would kind of be like 3 small levels in one that you had to do in succession. So there would be some sort of, particle wall that trapped you in a third of the room, and you had to go into one victim's mindscape and kill all the enemies in a far shorter time frame, and then that victim would dissolve, and then you would enter the next victim's mindscape, and then finally, once all 3 victims were gone, then the monster in the center would be weak, and then I don't know, at that point it was a little wishy-washy. Maybe you would just blink into it and kill it, but I thought it was cooler to enter the monster's mindscape, and then there'd be some cutscene where, whoa, you're in the mind of the plague, and then that would be when you reclaim it.
Oh yeah, I like both iterations of that. No, that would I could see it being cool either way. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be one of the top things on the list if we continue working. We sort of have a to be continued sort of ending because there's no real resolution.
One thing that I think you'll have to answer if you move forward is, you can have elements of both, but is this going to be principally a puzzle game or principally an action game?
That is a very good question.
Because there's nothing wrong with having both, or even having them both in equal measure. But it's definitely a choice you're going to have to make, and I don't know. It seems like you haven't made that choice yet.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm getting a ping from one of my team members saying action. And I would agree. I would say it's a sort of, I suppose you could call it like a spatial puzzle, like how am I going to manage killing all of the enemies, but I would say there's no explicit like Legend of Zelda type puzzles.
Okay,
I guess I can maybe puzzle's not the right word, but like tactical, right? It's
Sure.
I'm choosing to go this way instead of that way, or like there's that run of 3 spiders on the train tracks before you enter the mindscape, where if you just try to zip through them, you'll definitely die. And the solution is to walk past the first one and zip past the next 2, right? Like that's the kind of puzzle I'm talking about. That seems to be something that I think is, I would lean in that direction personally as a designer, but I think this game could be successful in either direction. But I don't see it leaning super strongly one way or the other yet.
Okay, absolutely. I hear that. Real quick, before we lose track, how many attempts was that through the same level before you passed it?
Ugh,
Oh man, I was probably like
3 or
it
4
was
at
like
least.
definitely 10 plus for me, and I paused it before I was gonna go and get it, but it was definitely like more than 10 for myself.
I'm
Okay.
gonna blame parsec lag.
It's a free excuse. Everybody can use it.
Oh yes,
Absolutely, yeah. But back to your question.
What?
You were talking about, puzzle action, and I've got my team member saying action, perhaps strategic action, if we wanted to add a clarifier.
Yeah.
And what I would say, we talked earlier about that time slow being something you can do but not required. And I heard you detail your strategy being, walk past one, blink past the rest. Well, you can indefinitely chain blinks if you want to. I would say the ideal strategy is to just blink past all of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do make a good point. There's tolerances where you can walk instead of blink.
Well, I guess there are if you blink past the spider into the arms of another spider, if you keep blinking, even if you're blinking through at full speed, one of them will kill you. The one that you just touched behind you, right? That still can happen, at least in my experience.
Yeah, I mean, the tolerances are low, but it is possible. Like, I mean, if you had like a tool-assisted situation, you could blink through the whole level in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Like the whole chaining, I haven't quite figured out the timing for the chaining, but once you have it, I think this game is very like speedrun related.
Yeah, absolutely. I some players I've noticed on their own accord will practice it until they're pretty good at chaining in the tutorial room, which isn't really incentivized, but I do think that is a good strategy, and it's tough for me to say that as a developer because, of course, I've gotten very good at chaining it by playing the game all the time.
Oh, for sure. Like that's what the game comes from mastery, and you want a good game has that level of like you can play this casually, but then also for like an achievement for this game could easily be like beat the game without using the speed, or beat stages without using the slowdowns.
Sure. Yeah, I hear that.
Or like infinitely, or like a beat the chain, or beat the stage without missing a chain, stuff like that. Like those are gonna be like fun things you can challenge a player to do for this game.
Absolutely, and that's something I would feel like would come about in a proper, spending time on it sort of release, as opposed to our student situation.
Yeah.
And that's the type of stuff I would love to add, because I think that stuff gets missed in a lot of student games, because that's like special bonus stuff that's so easy to cut.
Yeah, like that stuff forward plan, that kind of level of forward planning, it's not I don't want it to be on your radar, because like you are focused on making a good game.
Right.
Yeah. Once you hit the when do we?
There you go. That was a great time to time slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's even a hint in
very
the
solid.
graffiti. You can go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying it was just solid timing.
Oh no! Oh, you got it.
Ooh, that was close.
I didn't get stuck in the nether world this time.
So, was someone going to say something?
Oh no, if I can jump back to one of the things I wanted to say earlier, is that I compared this game to Pac-Man.
That is fantastic. That's one of our influences.
Good, because I could definitely taste it.
Yeah, I really enjoy the palpable difference between a discrete offensive phase and discrete defensive phase in the same space. I think Pac-Man did a great job with that, and we don't always see that being a discrete situation.
Getting there.
Yeah, you still got a minute.
Yeah. I was like, he doesn't have to kill the rats. That's right. Yeah, like this game has so much as far as its core mechanic, seems very straight done, and then there's a bunch of expansion that can be done in terms of even power-ups and such.
Oh yeah, those were definitely on the drawing board when we first started.
Yeah. What's your number one, I would say, or your favorite future power-up?
Oh geez. Shoot, so I don't have our design document in front of us, but I know that there was once planned to be a cool backpack that the player wears with glowing orbs on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was going to have some connection to the lights in the room being indicative of your health. and then there would be health pickups so that it wasn't just 3 hits and you're out, so that you could perhaps get a health regen after a difficult portion. And I think that would light up on the backpack.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm getting yes from my team. I believe that's correct.
It's timer. 10 seconds.
Where's the last spider?
Get the spider. Get the line.
Uh-oh.
No, you were doing so good. Oh,
I didn't know
wow,
where the
that-
last spider was.
I think the thing about that is the game can be kind of punishing at the end like that, because this is true of a lot of types of games. When there are a lot of enemies, it's pretty easy to swing your broadsword and hit 10 of them. But then when there's one left, suddenly it gets a lot harder. And not by virtue that the enemy is any harder, but just because they have to search around and find it. I think this game could benefit from, in the second stage, to break up those things into little chunks. So restrict spiders to certain rooms, so that when you this is just an example of how to do it. There's many other ways, but in the beginning, when you're in that control room, like don't let any of those creatures leave that room. And then once you go down on the escalator, don't let any of those spiders or rats in that area go too far past that zone, so that the player can kind of, because it seems the design is to work your way back to the beginning. And so if you miss a spider and you don't realize it, then you're kind of you've already lost and you don't even know it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even first semester in level 1, we would have rats from the beginning of the level run all the way back into the train, and that was extremely infuriating.
Oh, that's awful.
So they are, in a very small way, zone restricted right now. But,
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely room for more. I would agree that those ones in the control room shouldn't be allowed to escape. I'm not sure if that's what happened. But absolutely, yeah, you shouldn't have to chase them across the entire room.
Yeah, and that there should be some level of communication so the player can understand that, oh, it's safe for me to leave, so they don't waste time double checking, unless that's a game mechanic, right? So everything you do and everything that happens communicates something to the player, and so you need to decide if you're doing that on purpose or if it's just a consequence of other decisions you've made, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't know, I don't personally enjoy this as a gamer in games, but what happens is upon playing the same level 3-4 times, you develop a bit of a sense of where the enemies are. And I think, I personally agree, like when I play games, what I want to do is do that. And now you're experiencing a situation where the rats don't reset their positions.
Oops.
It's a classic bug, and hopefully it doesn't break this. If things seem a little tight, you can always go back to the main menu, select the level.
Alright, I'm gonna say that we're gonna give this guy, give Alex a few more attempts here before we swap to a different game, and also a different player to hop in.
Sweet.
Well, we've got Alex here, so maybe we should go right to Ollie-Oop.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah.
And so we'll have another player play Alex's game.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, we really appreciate the extra.
Oh no, like once I saw this reel, I was like, I was gonna play this by myself, but if we were gonna do this on the stream, I was like, why not just save it for stream? My failure was real. I did not practice it ahead of time.
All right. Well, we are happy to have a game that isn't so easy that you finish before you Although maybe we should change the expected play time to 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, like if you could definitely do that by just tweaking like the ease of access, like change hitboxes, make the player dash a little farther, and then the game would definitely hit that 15-minute playtime easily. But
And ultimately, you have to decide, like, if we've seen that the game is probably a little harder than maybe we'd want it to be. But if you're like, no, I want it to be that hard, then the goal isn't to convince players that that's fine. It's to change things about the game so the players will naturally agree with you.
Absolutely.
yeah,
You know, there's no wrong answer, right? You can make the game terminally frustrating. You can expect the player to die 3 or 4 times before they figure out where the rats go. Like, that's totally fine. But you need to make sure that the player understands that that's supposed to happen. Instead of them feel like, oh, I'm not playing this right, or there's, you know, or find some reason to blame something other than parsec lag.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I remember in development, I was one of the proponents of making the game easier, but then, you know, I mean, if you just enumerate that that's your intent for the game to be hard, that's really not wrong. We just need to, you know, agree with what we're going for. And I do feel like the game is pretty hard. suppose that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing before we log off is it's your game, so you have to accept all of its faults. So none of that. I agree with you. I was proposing it to not be that have that problem. It's a very natural impulse that we all have.
Right, of course. Shoot, I really thought you had it.
Not gonna make it.
Oh no!
They were all in the corner.
Every time I was
Yeah,
like,
one
oh,
went
God.
back to the train, and then I had to hunt it down, and then I dashed, and there was a lag for a second, so I didn't know if I got it or not.
Yeah, that was definitely a little weird.
Oh, that's funny. There's definitely a version of this game where you constantly fail before getting the last one, and it feels great.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because there are games like that where it's you're just trying to reach the finish line, you get so close each time, and then that way when you finally do it, it's a special kind of reward. I don't know if that's what this game is trying to do, but there's a version of it where it could work that way.
Like this could easily become Dark Souls Pac-Man, which I actually would love to see.
Dark Souls Pac, yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
You've already got a press angle. I love it.
Yep. All right.
Oh, I love that you're time slowing on the escalator.
7 o'clock now, so it's time to swap, I believe.
All right.
So we'll be an Ollie-Oop. Who are we going to get to play Ollie-Oop here?
I'm happy to do it. Well, I want to
Mhm.
get another view in. I was hoping Dark Haze would stick around for a bit longer, but they left the Twitch chat. But we'll just call out to the Twitch. If there's anyone else in the stream that wants to hop in, I recently posted the Discord invite / the playtest instructions. If you want to download Parsec, we can get you in. But since we have Alex, I'll go ahead and play a little bit until we get somebody from Twitch or somebody from the chat. Let's double check the Discord to see if anyone's messaging.
Cool. I just disconnected from Parsec, so.
Oh, cool.
Hey, thanks so much for the time. I'm gonna hop out, but I'll keep watching the stream.
Oh, dude, thank you for such a good game. And
Thanks for letting me play.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. If we continue development, I'll be sure to let you all know.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see the next version of this. Like that's the best part about like a regular playtest event is like, oh, this game is great, and then like a month or two later, like, oh, this game is even better. Like that's a great feeling for players and certainly for developers. So yeah, bring it back.
Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful evening.
You too.
My computer's connected, but it's not doing a thing.
What's going on?
I don't have permission. That's what it is, I think.
Oh, because you're using mouse and keyboard on your laptop, right?
Oh no, I'm using a controller for my laptop now.
You should have.
Did it not do? Oh, yep, there we go. Sorry.
Right. It's it could just be swapping in and out. That sometimes happens.
Well, yeah, this is Ollie-Oop from Alex.
And Peter
Wow,
continuing.
look at that. Wait, are you using a gamepad or keyboard?
I'm using a keyboard here. Oh, sorry, gamepad.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
That's the idea.
The thing I was most curious about is how Parsec handles all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, because it will tell the difference between mouse or the keyboard and controller, but Parsec simulates an Xbox 360 controller.
Okay.
So if you have anything in your game that changes button prompts or anything, it'll just always be an Xbox 360 controller.
Yeah, it does. I have in there for keyboard, Xbox 360, and PlayStation controllers. So that's what I was interested in. I think it defaults to the Xbox ones anyway. So.
Mm-hmm. I think there is a setting in Parsec for the host for you to say which controller should I emulate, and I think the only other option is, I believe it's PlayStation 4 is the other option, but the default setting is Xbox 360, or rather X input, frankly, because an Xbox One controller reads an X 360 controller even in a normal scenario a lot of times. So.
Who's a good boy, Ollie? Who's a good boy?
So, Alex, tell us, we're pretty familiar, Peter and I, with this game.
Right.
But tell us, give us a little bit of an overview, and then also tell us what's new in the last month or so.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just talk about Ollie-Oop really briefly. So the elevator pitch is, obviously, it's a dog on a skateboard. Like, what else do you need than that?
Well, thanks for all that information. That's all I need.
Yeah, so that's really it. You can go wishlist it on Steam right now.
Throw that link in the Twitch chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, I will. So the general kind of top level idea of the game is that the neighbor dog, your friend Reggie, is gone missing. So you go kind of on this adventure to try to figure out where he went. And so what I really wanted to do was not emulate Tony Hawk or Skate or anything like that, but take more inspiration from like classic 3D platformers like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's skateboarding mechanics, but in more of a 3D platformer kind of style, and not a kind of score-based trick system, point-based type of game. So
yeah.
That's really where I'm coming from for this. So.
Yeah, and I love that. I think you had talked a little bit about how you early playtesters had to be told repeatedly that no, you can't do a ton of skateboard tricks. That's not what this game is about.
Right, and still and probably forever that will be a thing.
Yeah, and there's some of those things where there is no way you're going to take that dog off that skateboard. So it's just a thing you like. And as developers, sometimes we have to decide that like there are things we will resolve to put up with, and because it's worth it, right?
Right.
I think one of the things that's nice is with the newest model of Ollie. And the stout little skateboard, I think, gives a much stronger impression that this is an adventure game and not a trick game. I think, whereas previously, I think the original sort of stand-in models might have. It's like a tiny, subtle thing.
Right. Smashing pumpkins.
Smashing pumpkins. Smash.
Like Ollie's rage. He's still just dog on a skateboard.
Dog in a cage. So yes, if anyone wants to play this game, Mark, would you post the playtest link again? You can download Parsec.
It's so listeners, we've heard this more than once, which is people are not getting the links that we post them, even though they're not that old. It seems that the Twitch chat seems to.
Well, so
with
Twitch chat, you only see from when you joined. So if people join later, you don't see previous history. That's why.
Oh yeah, but you should post it to the Twitch in like the descriptors.
Oh, you're super right.
In like the bio part.
Yeah, the bio part. That's what we should do. So people can join in.
I'm not very Twitch savvy, but there's like a message you can post below a stream. Where do I find that and how do I edit it? That can be my problem. You guys don't have to. Yeah.
So, Julesy, if you want to play Julesy, if you have a controller and you want to download Parsec, you can go ahead and Parsec in and play this game. I'm having a good time. It's adorable! So, I think one of my favorite parts of this game... Okay, so Alex, let me ask a question for you.
Yeah.
To compare this to Goose Game, how do you feel about that?
I actually, so I'm really happy that Goose Game kind of came out when it did, when I was in the kind of pitching process of this game, because Goose Game was really short. You know, it only takes a couple hours to play through, and I think we fit this kind of similar niche of like a lot of different like interactive stuff and things to do, but like overall it's not like a really deep like an RPG type of game with a ton of content and like hundreds of hours of stuff to do, right? But it doesn't really have to be, I don't feel like. And obviously this game, Goose Game, wasn't out yet when I had started working on this.
Yes.
But my point of inspiration at that point was Donut County, which is a similar way. Like it's not very long. And it's the same kind of like cute style, like it's a casual game, and so yeah, that's Goose Game has been great though. Like people making that comparison is humbling for sure.
Yeah.
Because that game is amazing. So, but I think also just kind of, especially in this level specifically, the like color palette is similar and everything.
Yep.
So, I definitely get that comparison.
Because I knew you were working on this before Goose Game got its big smash hit, and I was like, oh man. Ollie-Oop's gonna have a good time. Because it's a game of just little shenanigans, and it's great.
You know, it's actually funny because I was working on a game starring a cute animal causing
at the same time.
Yeah, as Goose Game came out, and there was when the game was being streamed by some Twitch streamers, there was someone in the chat said it feels like they were cheating on the goose. And I thought that was the highest praise I could have. So we just the game I was working on. But the problem is that the thing about Widget Satchel, at least the way I envisioned it, is that our little cute, adorable mischief maker was not a jackass the way that the goose is.
Yeah.
Oh, and, like, for some reason that really got to me. It made it really hard for me to want to really get on that goose train and like, so like, love goose, you'll love this. You know what I mean? And certainly I don't see Ollie giving anybody anything but
no
joy.
Malice involved
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, Ollie will knock stuff over, but isn't it adorable? Right? It's no frustrated shopping in Ollie-Oop.
Yeah. Oh, one question I didn't answer in your list of questions, Mark, was what I've been up to recently, post quarantine stuff. So what you're playing now is like the vertical slice, like the first level of the game, and like we wanted to polish as much as we could to try to just show what the game can be. And so what the team's been working on now is, I've never heard this term before, maybe we invented it or maybe it's a thing, a horizontal slice. So we're kind of white boxing out like all the levels and like getting like the missions that I already built for this one and like tweaking them so they work in different situations and stuff, and just like getting a good base of all the content in the game so we have a good idea of like, this is how long the game is, and then we can kind of polish and add kind of content and the fun stuff, side stuff to all the different levels after that. So the kind of side stuff, like this level has like that tetherball thing and I don't know, all the kind of different like physics objects that are fun to goof around with.
Oh, that's great. What'll be good about that too is you'll get a sense of like you're looking for a sense of the whole campaign, but then also you're gonna have a ton of ideas for, you know, as you work on later levels, you'll have ideas that you'll backport to earlier levels. So the less finalized the earlier levels are, the better positioned you'll be to do that kind of in-progress brainstorming. Where it can be really restrictive sometimes when you have like a great idea that will work great for level 2 while you're working on level 5, but level 2 is done. It can be really difficult. So I like the way you approach it. Like, have this vertical slice for the first stage, and then go wide rather than deep moving forward. That's cool.
Right. And I think like coming up with those ideas as you build out more of the levels, like, and going back and adding more content to previous levels, I think the denser the levels are, because it's not like it's not Tony Hawk, right? So you don't have to worry about overpopulating the area and like breaking the flow. I think the more like goofy stuff there is to do and more stuff there is to interact with, the better. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna run into a problem with having too much stuff. To make the levels really, really small.
You want a lot. You want as much stuff as possible for this kind of game.
Yeah, you'll have this.
Like, even this level has open areas that I'm not super happy with. But again, like I was saying, as I build more levels, we build up our pool of kind of assets and stuff to mess around with. Maybe something from level, 5, I'll be like, oh, I could use this also in the cul-de-sac in level 1, so I can add it in here. Build up that library of stuff. So
yeah, and then it gives you kind of it helps you have a consistency of feel across the entire game without having to determine what that is right away.
Right.
That's cool. Peter, how are the controls?
This is
something that's been updated over time.
Oh, it's super fluid. Even with the parsec, it feels great.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Like it's a little touchy, but it's honestly not terrible at all. Like I would happily, if I was playing this on my, like, the controls are a little wonky, but that's kind of what I want from this game. Like, it's colorful. I'm okay with there being kind of wonky controls. Oh, that's an error. It's asking for A and not X.
Oh yeah, it's the wrong button. You bark at it.
Yep.
If you press X. Yeah, there you go.
Oh no. Oh no.
Are you stuck?
I am super frozen.
Can you pause? Sometimes if you pause and unpause. Nah, it's stuck. Stuck in the doghouse. Well, hit continue.
Oh, I can't though, is the thing. I can't, like...
Oh, that's weird.
Right, that UI element looks like there's no way for you to interact with it.
Yeah. In playtesting at VGMCon, I ran into similar issues like this. You'll just have to restart.
That's okay. But that's what that thing's about. All right,
You
so
know what you could use is, you've got that unstick Ollie, which is a debug function. You could certainly do something similar where just an event call, which turns off all mini games, UI components, just that everything listens for, so that you can.
Yep.
Oh, you don't have to fix this right away.
So I do have to quit out.
Yeah, and that'll go back to the menu, and then you can go back in.
Oh, first I can just go back in. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So this is Ollie-Oop, everybody. A question is again, like, how long are you working on this? I know a few years.
Yeah, since like 2017, but like I tell this whole spiel every time. Like the first version of this game was like not this at all. It was very, very, very different.
Oh yeah.
My primary inspiration was Line Rider, and so I wanted to make like a 3D version of Line Rider. So it was like this level building tool where you had a set of 3D models you could place in the level, and then you put the dog on a skateboard wherever you want him, like at the top of your line, and you press play, and then he just like rides down it. And so I had this idea that you could kind of make these skate videos about a skateboarding dog. So I was planning out future features that would be like camera control and like fisheye lenses and filters and stuff.
Yep, I remember.
So you could like edit and design your own skate videos. And then I play tested at Glitch a few times, and like every month I brought it, people were like, it's like, I wish I had like a little bit like more control over like the character. Like I wish I could steer a little bit, and so like I'll add that, and then I'll bring it back next month, and they'd be like, I think it'd be more fun if you could like jump. And like, okay, clearly people aren't interested in the idea of the game that I'm making right now, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like this is the game I want to make, but like not everyone has to want to play the game that I want to play. So
Yep. And giving the players what they want is honestly a good direction for developing a game.
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what you want, right? Like I have like my itch account is full of games that were just like prototypes and game jams and stuff. That's more for that type of thing, like just something I want to do for myself that I want to get out of my system. But I was kind of done doing that. Like I did a game a month for a year, so I kind of got all those prototypes out of my system, and I was ready to make something that was bigger. And so it just made sense to lean into that this time. Like, what do people want to play? Not like, what do I want to make necessarily? So that's just a choice you have to make. Do you want to sell games, or make something like use it as a creative outlet? And like, hopefully you can find a balance between both of those.
Yeah, eventually, once you work on something long enough, it's the thing you want to make now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ollie-Oop has become kind of my personality after a point once you start working on it long enough. So, and I'm definitely okay with that. So
you've got that. This is still just the cul-de-sac. You don't have the desert level in this build.
yeah, this is just the cul-de-sac. So yeah, this is the build from VGM Con, which was like early March, I think, like right before the world started shutting down.
Yep.
Like the week before.
Right. Yeah, the world is not asking for playable builds right now, right?
No.
Yeah.
We're trying to change that here. But...
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, we're kind of working on this horizontal slice now, where so I'm working on the desert level now, and recycling some of these types of missions, like finding types of collectibles and adding in a couple new mechanics, like not even really new mechanics, but just kind of using existing ones in interesting ways. Like I added dynamite that you can pick up and throw, and so you can like so you have to clear this mine shaft, right? This like gold mine that collapsed in the desert. So you have to clear out the mine. So you like grab some dynamite and you bark to throw it, and so you can clear out the mine. I've been reworking the race mini game that was cut from this version. I had it in an older version of Ollie-Oop. There's like a race you could do against Pierre.
Oh, fun.
But it was pretty buggy when I had it at 2D Con, and I wasn't happy. This build was what I was going to take to GDC and show to publishers and stuff. And it wasn't polished enough that I was comfortable showing it, so I cut it. But I'm reworking some of that stuff now. Oh yeah, this part when you bring a newspaper and then they tell you a corny dog joke.
I like that. It was great.
This isn't very clear yet, but I'm okay with it for now. But if you find there's a bunch of newspapers in the level, and each one you bring, he tells a different joke. So there's like 7 different ones or something in this level.
See, that's good exploration though. It's good
Yeah.
fun. But see, like, it's just a fun, satisfying game. Just like, it's just so chill. It's like light exploration. It's got that feel good of just like a. I'm very happy being a cute dog on a skateboard. Like,
Yeah.
That's all the
The thing I can't wait to test out is the progression.
Yeah,
You know,
I'd love to see.
clearing out
I'd
all
love
the
to see
missions, going to the next level, getting all the sticks and the bones, and like really feeling that completion of the sort of these 3D platformer collectible style games. Like still every time I play the game, it's always starting from scratch, and I think you can wander around the world as Ollie for 100 years and never get bored.
Oh no! I think you want to like have little fun things that your players can talk to, like hidden NPCs. Like this game, this game world expands so well.
Yeah, the real value of it is going to be the realizing the potential of like of slowly ticking off everything you see and finding new things and all that. And I think I can't wait to put 2 hours into a future beta of this where I can get that feeling for real.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and that progression is something I'm still kind of noodling through right now specifically. Like, I know there's going to be the like level progression, but like what the actual blockers are, so you can't just navigate through the whole game, you know? What I'm thinking about right now is there's pup cakes is one of the rewards you can get for doing missions. So something kind of like Spyro does and some other 3D platformers do is levels are gated off until you get a certain amount of a type of collectible. Like Mario, like you need 3 stars to open this door.
Yep.
So I've been thinking about doing it that way and just blocking off like the desert level in this instance until you have like 3 pup cakes. So you have maybe 6 or 7 missions you can do, but you only have to do a few of them before you can progress.
And I actually think that's a really good way to go about it.
Yeah, I think so too.
It incentivizes the player to like explore the world in the way they want to.
Yeah.
Did you see the hat menu too on the pause thing? That's another thing I'm gonna take another look at. Yeah.
Oh, Peter, you don't know about the hats?
No.
This is a thing I always have to explain it to people. So there's a hats menu. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. There's like a whole bunch of them. Human pause. It's okay. Click on hats again. It'll work. It's a bug, but you're not soft locked.
Is it that all the menus share? You can like move back and forth because of the directional mapping.
Maybe I just need to have a better failsafe for like when to disable certain like panels and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't have in place right now.
Cowboy Ollie is best Ollie.
Baby Ollie.
Alright,
Cowboy is a good one, yeah.
How do I cancel this? Okay, so...
so go back into the hats menu, and you have to select the back button.
I'm trying.
Go to the left.
I'm pushing left.
Oh.
Breaking games, live on stream. A bird!
Right on.
Somebody really likes the bird.
Well, you could try the mouse too, just click on it with your mouse.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do, but it did not work.
Nope, instead you took away controls away from my control.
Oops.
That's alright. I would say, like, so this game, locally Minnesota made, for those watching. If you want, as Alex said, is live on wishlist for on Steam. You want to go take a look? Ollie-Oop on Steam.
Yep. The website is skateboarding.dog.
That's right. That's amazing.
So if you want to like follow us on Twitter or like we post everything on Twitter mostly, so skateboarding.dog is the website.
It's adorable. Look at that. Look at that webpage. It's amazing.
So cute. These are the fine folks responsible.
Yep, there's Meet the Team. That's me, and Brayleigh's out in Austin, Texas. She's doing the 3D modeling and concept art, and then Rob is also local Minnesota, doing the Sound of Music work on it.
Great.
Right. Peter, what do you say we play Cube?
Oh, you want to try out Cube? I'd love to see you or Alex if you want to stick around, or if anyone in Twitch chat wants to get in on a puzzle game. Alex, if you want to play it, or Mark, one of you. I want one of you to try it.
Well, I played it earlier. I think I would like to see Alex play it.
Yes, go for it, man.
Okay.
If you're interested.
If it's a puzzle game, it sounds like the lag might not be as much of an issue, so that's sweet.
So
Yeah.
this is you can do gamepad, but you should do keyboard, right? Is that right,
You
Peter?
should do keyboard for this.
So mouse and keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, mouse and keyboard. This is like a 0.0 build. Like a very, very first demo prototype. Like not I wouldn't take this anywhere, but I want to showcase this because I want to see like people's opinions and such. So if I'm still parsecting, so I need a
I'm connecting.
You're
I'm waiting to
connecting?
connect.
Yep.
Oh, let me invite you in then.
Yep.
Oh, my favorite guy, Capsule. Oh wait, connection timed out. I'm connecting again.
Yeah, I need to accept it in a certain time, and
There we go. There we go.
All right.
All right, it's all you. So controls are very easy in that it is WASD to move, shift to shift camera angle, and mouse left mouse button
I can't move.
for puzzling this.
Oh, I need to give you access to that again because I forget every time. Because for some reason it'll give you the gamepad right away, but it won't give you a mouse and keyboard until you manually do it. I guess it's a safety precaution.
I think
Yeah,
I would
they don't
like
want me to
to-
hack the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
And shift changes your camera angle.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. And left mouse button to do puzzly things.
Yeah, you click and drag.
Yes, click and drag. There you go.
Oh, I see. I got it.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it now.
There you go. So unfortunately, this game doesn't have any cool music or things like that yet. But as far as like a visualization, I'd like to see you puzzle through this and kind of time it out, because there's like a initial idea of this game is that it's basically like 3D cube rotating puzzle solver from getting A to B, but we want to allow the player freedom to get from A to B. And in what I've seen in playtesting so far, we've got there's already a couple unintended solutions to this game, which I am so happy about.
Yeah, that's sweet. Puzzle games is one genre that I've never really tackled because I've always felt like you have to be really, really smart to make like a good puzzle game because you have to like know what all the solutions would be. But I don't know, maybe that's just me.
I'm gonna tell you that you have to push that cube into the slot between it, so you don't soft lock yourself out.
Wait,
Yeah,
say
this
that
is the
again.
part where when I played, I have soft locked myself a few times.
Oh god, no! I just did it.
You just did it. You took control and you soft locked me.
No, I'm so sorry. Okay. So yeah, this so again.
So we're like
0.0 prototype here.
We're 3 for 3 in games we've soft locked.
Yes. This is the real playtest.
I love it.
This is the real playtest session, man. So like you do have to close out, reboot it up.
Yeah, I can take care of that because that's my job, right?
Thank you, Mark.
I'm like, why isn't anybody restarting this? Man, thank goodness for Windows 10 tablet mode because it makes doing this a little bit easier.
All right.
Yeah, I think right now it's like there's some control issues, but like those are all like just super solvable. Like they don't, it's not an action game, so it doesn't reflect on the experience.
No, you have to push the cube down. Sorry, push the cube down.
I have to push it down into this spot.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get that either. Like I felt like a dummy. Like I didn't quite understand that at first.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
no,
oh, there's an There's an elevator. I should try to get the block on the elevator. So I spent way too much time doing that.
I feel like I should be able to clear this.
Oh yes,
but
you
it's a Unity physics thing. There we go.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
I'm familiar. I'm familiar. Trust
That's why you
me.
you have to have like 2 colliders,
Momentum.
one for block to block and one for block to player. This is one of the more clever parts.
Yeah. That's a really good puzzle. That like took me a second to think about, but then I got it. Like sometimes you get really stuck in a puzzle. That was
And it's one of those ones where you feel great when you figure it out too.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is push shift to look around the world. Right mouse button to look around the world, I think.
Oh,
isn't that working?
Right mouse button?
Yes. That's a problem. Use the left mouse button to rotate yourself and zoom in and out.
Whoa.
Yeah. So rotate the cube that you're on.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's tricky. Wow.
So now you can unlock that other cube that's one away from you.
This one?
Yep, the one that has the yep, there you go. Now you can pull that cube to you.
Ooh.
And now you also have to get to it.
Just trying to walk off the world.
Yeah, like how?
It's down there.
I know.
Oh, no, I got it. I figured it out.
Isn't it funny how like it's like of course you just rotate the thing, but like it's games like this have this sort of spatial reasoning that require you to think laterally.
Locked by the other cube. So you'll have to
bring my capsules with me.
I'm so happy that you do that because I'm also the kind of player who does that too. So it's actually stuck by the other cube. So you either have to get to it by another way or move it away.
Gotcha. Oh, move. I see.
Yep.
But I can't move this one away, right? This is attached.
You can also rotate the one that you're on, remember?
I forget about that.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at how the graphics change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Early version.
There's a weird field of view thing we have to solve for this game in terms of its physicality.
Yeah.
Because being able to see all the faces is what you want for planning, but knowing that you can only interact with the plane that you're on is tricky.
I think something in terms of game flow, like what just happened where now I can like move between all this, like a lot just opened up where I'm like kind of overwhelmed by the stuff that I can do now. At least that's how I'm feeling.
I'm okay with this feeling for now because I do want the player to be to feel the vastness of this game.
Yeah, the question is that time they spend figuring it out, is that a time of discovery or is it a time of noodling, right? Like if I spend all that time and then I finally figure out what I'm supposed to do next, did I feel that the time I spent was worth it? And or was it just time passed until I realized? And whether that's independent of whether it's whether the truth of the matter is that I needed to spend that time to do it. It's how did it feel? Because if I just like walk in circles for 5 minutes and then a door opens, I didn't feel like my walking in circles had anything to do with the door opening, even if it did.
Yeah. I think for right now, what this game needs is going to be a little bit more of like the story elements and world buildingness, because right now it's just a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of things that I'm hoping to get feedback from people is like a world building feedback. What do you think? What do you want? Or what would you like? What do you feel like this game could be? Kind of thing.
Well, Twitch chat, let us know.
Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, please. I'd love your feedback for that here.
I like that those little those ice-colored squares just bleed into the next block. just a little extra bit of juice that I like.
Gotta bring my capsules with me.
I know, man. I did this the first time I played through it too, and I was like, oh man, I want these capsules. I don't know what for, but I want them.
Well, now you need a power up, which is an inventory that you can carry them with you, so you don't have to pick them up one by one.
See, now I got it. That just like took me a while, where I like wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was just kind of moving cubes around for a while until I was like, oh, okay, I could go here.
And that's where the just idly spinning around for a while and it does improve your understanding. And you recognize that. You're like, oh, I wouldn't have really figured it out if I didn't spend all that time, getting to know each of these sides, right?
Yep. Once you understand that, like, you can rotate the one that you're on, the whole world is like, when you watch the galaxy rotate around you, feels. I think that feeling for the player is something that is kind of like can give people certain motion sickness, but also makes people like very like wow. It has a great wow moment.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so I got 2 now. I can't rotate, I guess, which is a bummer.
Yep. So the movement cube is movement only, so you actually want to move back to that one space really quick. And the key cubes actually are expended. They are spent, so you have to collect that other one first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I wouldn't have guessed.
Yes, that is just a means to
UI
an for the puzzle.
Yeah. Just explaining that to the player is not a trivial concern, but it's something you'll have to take care of.
Yeah, it's something we will like. Those like UI things, and honestly, like the way we would go about it is like make a cutscene. As soon as you touch 2 of the things, it will just automatically unlock for you, give you a cutscene knowing that you can now interact with that cube. Like we'll fix it that way, but I'm more looking for like theme feedback. A lot of that UI, like a lot of the UI and player feel, I do want to, but I'm less worried about that because this game is probably going to change a little bit more once. We already got some more feedback that we're going to be changing the control scheme a little bit too.
Yep. Well, all that UI stuff, like it has answers. You know they exist. You're not worried that you won't find them. Yeah. It's not a unique problem or anything. There are unique solutions, but you'll just pick from the ones or come up with your own. Not a worry. I don't know about theming and story. Like so much of this just, as much as I really enjoy story in games, even games that don't require story, the more I think about this as a concept, the less interested I am in world building for it. I kind of think of it like Chip's challenge. It's like, how did Chip get in that computer? Who cares? Like, So just like a strong visual theme, but then just let it ride.
Yeah. I feel like that's the answer I kind of want to go with, but I feel like it's lazy for myself. I would.
Right. You want to make sure that you're not wrong about that, right?
Yeah. Like I feel like we could tell a cool story because so let me hit you guys with our current theme for the idea or our current idea. So we're currently considering our tarot deck and the 12 arcana. So there's a story about the fool's journey, as it's called, within the tarot deck. And so this could easily become each world or each like cluster of cubes is themed around a single arcana. And you play as a character in the world of the tarot deck, or you play as the fool perhaps, adventuring through the 12 arcana, finding your journey, your life story, etc. But the also aesthetics of it would be that everything is like almost like cubism, and like all of it, everything's kind of like not necessarily cubism, but like a planet is based like this. The first world is all cubes. The second world is all circles, like spheres, and the other world is like the trees are all triangles, and like the fish are triangles. The people are triangles. So that's kind of that's our current thought.
Okay.
The answer solution to this puzzle is that you got to pull that other cube to you. Oh,
this one.
Yes.
I think if I, like you were saying, like right click is supposed to rotate, I think that would help me a lot actually.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening here because it normally does. Yeah. Yeah, the right click, I don't know what's going on.
It happens.
So normally right click
I
was
get
like
it.
change the camera angle, but this particular version of like the game where you have to rotate yourself to change the camera angle is also an interesting challenge, but we're definitely not wanting to keep it that way. See, I like where you're thinking though. Like again, I've seen this solved a couple of different times already. I was like, oh yeah.
You had to get across there that Unity physics.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh, I can still move it when I'm in this mode.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, just like you can move.
Or like I
rotate the one you're on,
forgot
like,
that was a thing. Yeah, I forgot about that.
There's a lot of like you have to sort of get used to the reality of it, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
I think players will enjoy that.
Yep. And this game this game needs a true tutorial. And then once it has a good tutorial, I feel like players will have a good time exploring.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, because right now it just lacks. It is basically like I have to tell you what to do and what you can and cannot do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Once it has like a, I think
As a puzzle game, that's less of a concern than it is for an action game, because you're not making the game like it always hurts playtesting when you have to explain something to a player and then you suddenly realize, oh, now I have no idea if they will learn that on their own, and then this whole playtest is useless.
Yeah, right.
That can be really difficult and very hard to avoid, in fact. But for a game like this, it has the what you're testing for is whether these puzzles make sense, and you have and fully understand the limitations of the the UX of it. Then it's less of a concern, I would say. You'll want to test for that specifically once you have solutions for it. But knowing that you don't yet, not a big problem. I do want to speak to the tarot a little bit because like tarot is something that I have like zero interest in. And I think one of the problems I think a lot of games has is it does limit its audience by its chosen theme, which is fine. But I think tarot is maybe a little niche. I would worry a bit about that because I think I would not be interested in any game that used the tarot theme, personally. And I don't think I'm alone. I mean, that's any theme on the planet has a few people who are just never like, oh, I don't like games that use a lot of orange, so I'm out. You know what I mean? You can't solve for that. But I think a puzzle game, you want to be as wide as possible, right? In terms of your audience, you're not the theming isn't necessarily going to, if you want a game that has a lot of like hand-to-hand combat, then you don't necessarily want to do a military theme because then people would be like, where are the guns? So there are ties between themes and mechanics, but I think you have a lot more freedom here for your theme to not have any restrictions on its audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to be kind about it because I just don't like that idea, but I want to be fair because other people would,
100% agree, and that like we're just searching for a theme and searching for like the suggestions on that because this game, I honestly could just be Chip's Challenge. I agree, 100% love Chip's Challenge. The hell out of that game.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a really strong aesthetic or that you can't have your own. Maybe part of it for me personally is that I much prefer games that just have their own mythos.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a particular challenge. It's certainly not any easier to create something on an existing mythos. Like I'm not going to accuse any developer or storyteller of cutting corners by like making things about the Greek gods or whatever, because that's not any easier a story to tell than your own original. But I think you do kind of limit although at the same time you can also tap into that audience, right? There are people who will be like, I will play anything that's tarot themed, and so you'll have an easier time getting those folks. So part of it's a marketing concern, but then a lot of it does lay into all the other elements of your game that aren't strictly puzzle mechanics.
Yep, I would say that right now I'm more interested in trying to get like a feel for it because right now it's a puzzle game. It doesn't need a theme. It's just a fun little cool quirky puzzle right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's opportunities for delight too. Like if you want to give it make the rules of this universe make no real sense, but make internal sense, like have an internal logic to them.
Oh yeah.
then I think players can really delight in that. You
Yeah.
know, this is a character who grew up on a world of shifting blocks. It's normal to them. Like walking
Yeah.
to the grocery store requires a lot of this, Euclidean manipulation. Like that's that could be a fun world to live in.
Yeah. So like
So
that's
you can use it as an opportunity just to give players an opportunity to enjoy themselves.
I would say that's actually one of the funnier things we thought of earlier on is that you were just a mailman. You're just delivering mail. And
I
this is
like
your...
that a lot.
You like that
Cool.
one?
I do. Give your character a purpose, you know? Because the problem with puzzle games is that there's no point to them, you know? Like there's no reason that I'm solving this Pacross. Like there's no stakes. So a mail carrier is kind of perfect because it leans into the low stakes of a puzzle game, but gives it a real ending, you know? It's like you're not collecting points, you're delivering letters. It's the same thing mechanically, but like it feels different. I love it.
Yep. I don't know. That was just kind of the quirky idea that we were initially given, but we want the world to be colorful and vibrant.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like played into like, oh, we could just look at you solving puzzles, man. This is definitely not the intended route, but I love it.
Pro strat.
It's a speed run.
No. Like every way to go is viable. I've declared this.
Okay, so now I have to figure out where that block was that I unlocked. Is it these ones?
It's
These
that
ones?
one. Yeah. Touch
Okay.
them. No, it's the one with yellow on it. Sorry.
These like yellow eyes, right? This one
Yeah.
has a yellow eye. Yeah. Okay.
You can interact with that one.
Look at me figuring
There
things
you go.
out that I can move those blocks that aren't close to me.
There you go. There you go.
Look at me being a gamer over here.
Yeah.
Wow. This is like World 8-4, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest.
Ooh.
It took me like a couple minutes to figure out that I can pause mid space.
So this is really interesting that, yeah, it looks like there's a thing here that I could maybe go into, like a cave.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's actually a cave you missed earlier, so that is 100% a thing that we
Oh,
are
man.
going to do.
Yeah. Is it mechanically possible right now, or?
Not right now, no. But there was an
Okay.
actual cave that is hidden in the physical world that if you rotate to, you can go explore.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hurrah!
treasure.
Treasures. Thanks for play.
Well
Oop,
done.
I enabled sticky keys.
It also soft down. But but I'm glad to hear that you like the mailman idea. I think it's quirky enough to work. It's also fun because like I also know like the USPS is also having a hard time, so I feel like this could be a fun time to like promote mailmanism.
That's awesome.
Someone was just saying like
I was just like it was just starting to click in my head like how the puzzle solving works and like the spatial puzzle solving, and then that was the end.
It was just starting to get it and like
yeah. That's good. As you know, man, as a demo, there's a good amount of content in there for a demo that I don't.
Right,
You guys have not been working on it for a ton of time, right?
No, officially the team has been together since like December/January, and like official development started January, February.
Yeah, so that's I mean you're in really good shape for an early prototype.
Yeah, and I
like a lot of times it's just a proof of concept, but you have real content here.
Oh man, but like that's currently where it's at right now. It's just hunting down and figuring out the right theme. Like Alex, so I'm glad Alex, you figured out all the puzzles in like a timely fashion. It took a little bit, but that's what we want.
Yeah.
And at the end, like, how did you feel at the end of it?
Well, kind of like I said, it started to click at the end, and I was like, okay, I got the hang of like the types of cubes that move linearly and the ones that rotate, and how to use them together and everything. And I think your demo ended at like a really good point where like I finally got it and I was like ready to dive in. Like that's the kind of demo you want where it doesn't give you too much where you're like, all right, I don't have to play this game because I already got what I wanted out of it. it hit that like perfect point where it's like, okay, now I want to like really, dive in and solve all the puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
you believe there's more even if there's not. Like
Right.
Well, that's good. It's good. I'm glad to hear that. Do you feel that any of the puzzles were almost too hard?
I pointed it out while I was playing. I think the one time was when you kind of get off your first rotating island and it's like, whoa. And like in hindsight, it isn't actually, it shouldn't have been that overwhelming, but it felt that way because I was like leaving that first planet, right? And I saw
Yeah.
all these other cubes that were locked still, but like I saw all that possibility and it's kind of like intimidating at that point. Like, whoa, like all this stuff. So just like spitballing, maybe one thing that maybe would make it feel less intimidating is if there was like almost like a fog wall, like there was fog, so you didn't see all the other planets at the same time, and then like as you got more cubes, the fog would get further and further away. Maybe
Well,
that's just one thing, like just an idea, but
that's actually pretty good. A part of me really likes the big reveal after like you get out that first planet of like, oh, look at all these cubes, I can't wait to get to them, kind of thing.
yeah.
I don't know, but it is just preference. I also like the fog idea because it keeps the player focused.
Mm-hmm.
and
You,
you're right.
you could also do like what Portal does and lock those cylinders to the planet where like the only cube that you can where you need to use them, because I just wanted to carry them around for the whole game. Or alternatively, just add an achievement for finishing the game with all the cylinders. Yeah, that's what Half-Life does, right? You carry the
companion cube.
the gnome through the whole game.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that is a 100% that I've talked about too, like those pylons or something. Like I carried them all the way to the end. I was like, what? I can't do anything with them. My first playthrough, I was just like, I want to do stuff with this. How come there wasn't a thing to do with them? Oh man. Well, yeah. Okay, that's currently where our thoughts are. Eventually, we will get to an official theme. I think here's an interesting idea for controller swap. As opposed to mouse and keyboard, it will be on controller, and left stick is player, but right stick will be like a magic hand or like a magnet grid that lets you stack to a cube, and you could rotate cubes by right triggering and like rotating left and right.
Yeah,
so we feel like it, and you wouldn't have to shift the camera angle. Like you'd have like a free roaming camera. But as you use the right trigger, you could like move a hand that would magnetize the things and shift left and right.
So, I'm trying to imagine how that would play, and I'm also trying to make sure I'm understanding it right. I think I forget what it's called now. It was called Draw Dog, and then they gave it an official name.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like it's like a 2D platformer, but it has like painting mechanics. So you use the right stick on gamepad. You use the right stick as like a cursor to draw with, and the left stick you move around your character with.
Okay.
But I don't know if it has like a modifier with a trigger for like navigating the camera at all. But yeah, that's interesting. I think that like the like click and drag mechanic is core. So I think preserving that for the gamepad is important. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how that plays out. But it's hard to know without having it,
Yeah, it's
or just imagine the game feel.
Yeah, it's something that we were thinking of just because like there's. I will talk about that later. I got to jump into the next game. And Mark.
Yeah, I've put out a notice on the Twitch chat if anybody else wants to join us, like Alex did, to play a game. You can. Instructions are there. But why don't we, Peter? I know you wanted to play one of the other Stout games, Leon Knights, right?
I do, but you haven't played a game yet, Mark. I want you to.
I have not. That's true. I'm behind the master control here, running the stream. So I'm fairly comfortable not playing right now, unless you insist upon it.
No. I'm not gonna twist your arm to make me not play Leon Knights because I do want to try that game out. So yes, go ahead.
But when this is all over, I'm going to be playing a little Ollie-Oop, I guarantee. But why don't we go ahead and start up Leon Knights, and Alex, you can hang out with us for a little while if you like. Or it looks like you said you'll be right back. Okay. Should be ready for you to go, Peter, when you're set.
Yep. I'm just gonna give this ample time to be on stream, just because there is photosensitivity, epilepsy, seizure warning for this game because there are flashing lights. So
Yes.
if anyone's in stream has concerns about that, do not watch this game. Just like
There is a game option to reduce some flicker, but I don't know how effective it is. So I think it's fair to keep that warning intact for anybody who
I would say
feel that they're sensitive.
you could just minimize the game, listen to the stream. You can hear me have a good time.
Yeah.
I immediately already have an issue with this, in that it is the Dark Courser selection, which is awful.
Yeah, the UI could use some work, I think.
Yeah, I do. It should be the other way around. That's all.
Yeah, the text as well. I mean, this definitely has a. It knows it's not finished. You know.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's no-
it's definitely in prototyping.
Yeah,
such
I may need to step in to restart or help you with, because I do there's a couple of soft locks in here, I believe.
Oh boy. Okay, there we go.
A couple of
Cool.
booby traps.
Right.
He's got that wide jump.
Very unique type of animation. Yeah.
I love it. Jump then dash.
So similar to Pestilence, there's some in-world tutorialization going on.
Oh man, I should have read more dash.
Dash is B.
Oh, but like I don't feel it. Oh, there we go. I had the jump and dash. Just pushing it doesn't immediately make the dash.
Beat the skeletons to open the path.
Oh man, okay, there we go. We're getting it.
So you didn't read that. You didn't say that sign, but it says you can practice your moves against this unkillable skeleton.
Cool.
So you can't beat that skeleton. You may
Yeah,
not
but
have known that.
I am just enjoying just how much is here.
Yeah. Yeah, I never used any of these abilities because I didn't realize. I only played for a few moments. But what are you using? What controls are you using to activate that stuff?
Oh yeah, so so A to jump, X is normal punching, Y is this roundhouse, D is dash, and then this left trigger. So left bumper is this little AoE. This left trigger is this little cycle ball.
Oh, so each one is
And
mapped
then-
to a different shoulder button. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's
And
really
then,
unique.
if you double jump, you do a little ground pound.
Okay, cool.
All right, man. I'm kind of into it.
I don't know of any other game that has like 4 abilities mapped to 4 shoulder buttons.
Yep.
Like, I'm kind of into that as a control scheme. It does not feel very common. I mean, obviously, it's certainly easy to develop. You don't have to just map a thing to a button rather than have like a weapon wheel or anything like that, or some sort of selection matrix. But it's kind of elegant, you know. I like it.
Oh no, I think the game wants me to practice all my commands on this guy
Yeah.
before I can progress.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Well, what does it take for you to unlock that wall there? He escaped his cage briefly.
Do I have to dash for that?
You have to kill the unkillable
Interesting.
skeleton.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's trigger. This is the Oda punch, which I saw in the video. And I was like, oh, this game is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, the panel behind you is lighting up after you've used abilities. It looks like there's some sprint like one.
Oh, okay.
Oh
that
yeah,
isn't
sorry.
lit up yet.
Yeah. So these are the triggers. Right trigger is this Oda, the multi punches, and then right bumper
There you go.
is lightning bolt.
Mhm.
So I thought it was like an actual like normal dash, but no, it's like the mana dash.
Yeah. Now
Yeah. So see, like,
pretty cool shader effect through that.
It
Oh,
is, yeah.
like
Their
it's
their
actually-
visual effects are great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will.
The aesthetic is somewhat incomplete, I would say. Maybe that's
I think a lot of it
maybe
is
being
lighting.
diplomatic,
And
but yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I actually have to say that whether it's laggy or not, the controls could do better as a beat 'em up. It's a
Yeah,
little...
because it's got to be kind of precise. A beat 'em up shouldn't rely too much on a physics system. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Which
I mean,
I was
that's a
hoping
matter of
would be better,
opinion,
but it has great gameplay though.
yeah, it gives you a lot of options. Like the thing about it, the games like this, they need to be empowering. And giving you all those abilities is good. In other games, it would feel kind of loose and like unclear, but I think it's a benefit to a game like this.
Yeah, this game like thrives on the freestyling, which
For
I
sure.
really enjoy. Like, there's a combo system I yet to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I'm not wowed by some of the aesthetics, but a lot of those effects animations, the shaders, like that has a real solid direction that I think if this game were to be further developed, could really. I think they're working towards something that could really work.
Oh yeah, like this could be a really What also sold me was the video. I don't know if you guys saw the demo reel, but their demo reel was like high level production quality. Like there's very few games that will like sell me on their like I would buy the game based on the video, but this one really got me. I was like, oh, all right, I gotta play this. You got me. So
That bowling animation is pretty fun.
Oh, it's super fun. Like everything about this is adorable.
Mhm. Yeah, this is definitely one of those like action games that I don't know if this is their intent, but it has a cartoony quality, but it's not a cartoon, but it's something that like a 12-year-old can play, and there doesn't need to be any blood, but it can still be like a rip-roaring, violent game, but without any of the sort of violent imagery that it's signposted as an M-rated game,
Oh yeah, like this game has zero blood in it. It's all like spectacle.
Yeah. It may seem like a technical distinction, but a lot of times this can make the difference between a game that has violence and glorifies violence.
Yeah. Okay, so what I really want from this game is multiplayer, which is how fun this is, like how easy it is to play. And like, this game, like as most beat 'em ups, like this is definitely in the beat 'em up genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want there to be like a like Wiki Kurio / or like River City Ransom style, like it's co-op players beat 'em up style. But then it's like a competition to see who can get the highest score, or more like the best street cred or something.
Yeah.
And then you get abilities that you get to choose and slot yourself. Because right now you currently have 4, but like where this game could really thrive on is just like the expansive amount of abilities you get, and you only get to take 4 with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that's
just
like
a whole library of nonsense hologram effects. Like, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, this like the crazier nonsense abilities, the more I want to play this game.
Yeah.
Because
I do like that. I also love the attitude of this character. So like, I mean, I'm not sure how much of these animations are. I mean, that jump animation is hilarious, but just even the run is just sort of like a kind of like an "I own this town" kind of attitude, which seems to be appropriate for this kind of game,
Oh, I am. Look at that! Can you see that? Can you see that guy?
Well, that like Kaijo back there, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's definitely in like some sort of. Oh, I can't wait. Just where do I go now?
Yeah, it's always tough with these student games because a lot of times they do have for games that are essentially not much further than prototypes. They tend to be way more polished than other games, so you never really know when they're going to end. Like,
I want to fight that kaiju.
I suspect that's the end of it, but it may just be a tease, Seems like you're really getting the hang of like, which ability to use when.
Like I said, this is just feel good beat 'em up. That's it.
Yeah.
Like everything about this is just good old fashioned fun. I'm getting the enjoyment I knew I would get out of this, just because like I will absolutely bowling ball that one enemy because it's funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you can destroy vending machines. That's a fantastic. So in general, you have to clear enemies before you can move on. That's the main mechanic. There isn't any other than in that tutorial area.
I don't think so.
So what have you missed there? Well, maybe you gotta punch that car, that Ferrari. That wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, I'll put
it was kind of lit. It was kind of lit up a little bit more than the other things.
cannot punch
Just a
this car.
guess.
Ferrari? Yeah, no, I cannot. Sad. No, this game does need destructibles. It does. Like, you can interact with the pine cone. With this cone here is great. Can I interact with the other boxes? No.
Nice.
Being able to like to beat up stuff would be another good initiative. Like, just more fun little things that players can do.
Oh, there you are. I wonder, what was it that got you to get past that?
Oh, there was a skeleton back there.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something else. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm on the hunt for all the soft locks because every game has them. You know?
Oh yeah. Like if I don't soft lock this game, I think this game will have like been the best one so far.
It'll be a big achievement, yeah. But it's a good lesson for people who are watching who may not have done a lot of playtesting or had their project playtested. Like, you really can't have an expectation of a flawless experience. Like there's a minimum of nonsense that you have to that all games have before they ship, you know, and as well as after they ship, I suppose.
Okay. Nothing comes out perfect.
But it can be very difficult when you're showing off your game, your pride and joy, that you know there's a new bug you've never seen before, and as the tester encounters, it can feel really bad. Like it can feel like you can feel judged, even if everyone's being kind about it. So I think it's important to espouse the attitude that's normal, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
The boss.
Bones.
Oh! Did he just picked up or something? Oh, he's got this mad dash that slap.
Oh, and it has a tail.
Like any good boss.
Yeah.
Let me hit the second floor. Snap!
Oh, and then that's a great ending.
Oh, man, there's a second
there's
level.
more to it.
Oh, no, I would have been satisfied.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I did see this in the trailer. This is sick.
Dance floor.
Yep. So I don't actually know what the... Oh, what?
Oh, we're hearing in the chat that this game is pretty long, apparently.
Yep. Oh, I need more mana.
If we have developers in the chat, we'd love to get you on the stream if you're interested. I can post those instructions again to get you onto the server.
Well, I have no jump attack. Oh, okay. Interesting. Onto attack. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, oh man, are the abilities color? Is this boss's shields color coded? That'd be great.
I like that.
Like if he gets a blueberry next. Oh no, I used mana. Okay. Oh wait. Yes, I'm pretty sure it looks like looks like Harper Mush. Oh, wait, no, that's you. No, that's not you. You're not a developer for this one, are you? Also, you do multiple teams. Oh, I ran into that. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh man, yeah, there's actual like dadsy beatness to this. That's okay. Cool opportunity to be like color-coded enemies that require an ability that are coded to them would be a really cool mechanic for this game. Which is I've seen done in a couple. I don't know what I can't think of the game off the top. I think like what is it? Is it I think One Finger Death Punch or something like that? There are games where like the enemies are color-coded, and so you have to fight them in a specific manner or use a specific ability for them.
Ah. And it's kind of rock, paper, scissory.
Yeah. And so like what you could do to expand upon that is like you have abilities that are color-coded, and you're always going with like a certain amount of colors. So you must have like one from every color, but you get like a whole library of every color that you can choose. Mm-hmm. Or something along those lines. But like it's totally like this was very, very enjoyable. Oh yeah, also music, very, very catchy. Very catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those credits.
Oh, he worked on this game.
I don't know, it was good though.
Yeah.
Good crew, man. I'm glad to have played that on stream, and I waited for that one because that was just very tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a good one to end the night with, or do you want to move on? Is there anything else you want to try before we head out?
How are you feeling, Mark? I'm up for like one or two more. Again, I kind of want you to play one, but
yeah, I'll give one a shot. And let me try Shepherd's Sky.
Oh yeah, I saw that one too, and it looked really interesting.
Also
really cute.
very cute. Yeah. I'm just gonna make sure that my controller is all working. So why don't you go ahead and vamp for a bit while I set this up?
Oh sure, yeah. I think like to give feedback for the developers for Leon Knights is that I would tighten up controls, of course, and I know that's a super cliche thing to say, like you gotta tighten up those graphics, tighten up controls. But as far as the beat 'em up goes, it's a little loose, but it feels good because in terms of like your control for your abilities, and like how quick they are. Like you push a button and it works into your combo. Feels very good. I think my other favorite thing about that is that like expanding upon the world of the enemy types. It'd be amazing to see like the boss. Like I said, like the boss in the end. If the boss had different barriers that were color coded into your abilities, so you had to use the right ability. Would have been like a very cool like player cognition moment. Like okay, like I can't just spam my abilities. I have to be actively timing and using and stuff like that. Because the initial playground is just like you run around, beat up stuff. Like that's so fun. But then you have to like challenge the player to be like, okay, you had fun with your abilities, but now let's put you to a little test. And I think that would be a great moment. But yeah, hey, welcome back, Dark A's. Games are going great. We played a couple things, and we're having Mark play the last game of the night. And of course, it's Shepherd's Sky, which I don't know if you guys were here for last week's meeting. But Shepherd's Sky is an amazing little game in which you are a shepherd, and you have to. Oh, actually, no. This game has a great intro sequence.
Hold on. I'm going to log off the Discord because I have Twitch muted, so I don't get the echo, but I want to hear the game. So I'm going to log off of here and watch the stream. So.
Oh, yeah, great.
Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to think. Disable me, by the way, because I'm up. I don't have to play anything else.
Sure.
But I want to watch.
I can punt you out here.
Or yeah, I still want to watch us on.
Okay. No? Well, if you mute yourself in chat and just unmute when you want to talk, you can figure something out.
No, let me connect to Outbox. I want to watch.
Okay. I'll let you back in
because I want to give him the live commentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Shepherd's Sky has an adorable storyline, and I want to see how it play out though. But as soon as you hit play, like this intro sequence is gonna be hilarious, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. I have control over this cursor here. Oh, okay, great. I'm on board. So this is interesting. It's actually it's like Destiny style, or like every game has this now, where instead of it just gives you a cursor. Because I'm using my gamepad for this.
So your cursor is a controller? I like it.
I mean, it looks gorgeous, but I hate this in games, I have to say. But that's just me personally. It does make it a lot easier when you're like, designing something for mouse and keyboard as well as for gamepad, because then you don't have to have a complicated control setup. You can just have touch targets essentially.
Yep.
Funny, we're a couple seconds ahead of the stream, so we're gonna get.
Oh no! Like our commentary will be on point because that's the beach stream over.
Well, all of our laughing is gonna be a little bit.
It's all good.
I wonder how close the audio matches to the video stream. Maybe it doesn't matter that much.
I wouldn't say it's pretty good. We've had no complaints so far.
Yeah.
At least I haven't seen any complaints. But this is Shepherd's Sky, and it's adorable. You gotta get your sheep back, and you're a shepherd with a vacuum.
How's the audio, by the way? Is anybody having trouble? Is it like feedback or anything?
Actually, yeah, we probably should have checked that out with streamers and asked something, but again, I haven't heard any complaints so far. Yeah, I have stream chat up right now. Or I've had it the entire night, I should say.
Enter first by holding the right trigger or left mouse button. Your trigger is over the sheep. Tap down with D-pad or... Oh, the sheep is in the water.
You gotta go.
And then literally... Oh no, that's just a fish.
You gotta go fishing. But, I don't know, maybe the fish is helpful.
Right, I'm not fishing for fish. I'm fishing for sheep. Am I missing something about the controls? Oh, okay, right. It's
Deflating the balloon.
yeah. It's just left. Okay. I'm figuring it out. All right.
All those physics are adorable. Oh my god. This is some next level fishing right here. Oh god.
Yeah, the physics are really taking over. I'm moving very slowly, and I forget there's like a...
Oh yeah, I think your moving slowly is intended. The question is, I don't know how you... Oh, there you go.
Okay. Maybe I can break down that wall.
Wonder how you break down the wall.
I can fish for a small rock. Oh, I see one.
I agree, Alex. This is an incredible video game.
Being fishing until you were done. I got some momentum that I'm just never getting rid of.
I wonder if it's intended.
Left on the D-pad. Nothing happens when I do that.
Because like that back dude, it like never turns off.
Yeah, so this rock here, I didn't actually throw it. It just spun around into like a dead wall. I was supposed to throw it, but now I can't throw it.
I think it's just, it collided with it, and the collision is all it needed, which I
And so it triggered
I think you still have to throw it.
No, I literally can't. There's no button I can press.
Oh, yeah, what? Oh, there you go, you got it.
Oh, there we go.
Like, we did a recast, there you go.
Yeah.
World, this is actually, this world's really expensive.
Yeah, this is a great looking game. I don't love that the rope for the balloon is like clipping through my hat. I think that's a design problem. But, like, because the models are great. It's just if that's how they were going to design the character, they should have come up with a aesthetic solution for that.
Yeah. It could have just been like a 2-string backpack, and it could have been like a bunch of balloons.
Yeah.
They already said that.
Maybe they toyed with it.
They mentioned that Up was like a big motivator for this, with like the character model and like how he was.
Yeah.
So I'm particularly okay with that. Like, you just lead into that a little bit. Just give him a backpack with multiple balloons, and the string is no longer an issue. He's gonna have his hat is the answer, right? Am I wrong in saying that? You can't take it with a hat.
I mean, I don't know. There's the realities of design.
But it's so good on it. It looks so dapper on it, man. It's that farmer's hat. It's got that little single.
It is good. It is great. Yeah.
Dog with the wheat. Like, it's perfect.
These wolves, they're not fun.
Oh, like, I'm curious. Also, shout outs to the idea of wolf box.
Yeah.
Like, the birth of the wolf box was that one of their artists had just drew this character, and like, we have to put this in the game. And they just made it the bad guy. I was like, easy.
Yeah. It is good.
Yes, music very ambient. So, okay, one of the biggest things the VW Stop team has acted to is also they work in tandem with, I can't think of the college, unfortunately, but they work with the actual music students, and they co-collaborate. And I think we should be doing that more often. I feel it's like, in terms of education or just even design, it's like helping collaborators find a space
Yeah.
And this is a little bit of that, like the MSP game dev, the Glitch Discord, and like the MSP Discord. Now that multi fostering is just that having a space for collaborators to work creates these wonderful experiences.
Yeah, any opportunity for people to get together. No one moment will lead to something huge, but an environment where lots of moments exist is required for any of these things to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, that's perfectly good. Because
I have a Band-Aid on my
like, this is right now it's just a student demo, but like if you showed me this on like a Wii or like a Wii release game or like a Nintendo Switch, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'd believe it for sure.
Yeah. I do feel a little aimless. There's not a lot telling me that I'm halfway across the valley versus a third of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's these rock arches, but they're everywhere.
I agree. I think this is very expansive.
It's beautiful and very polished, but I think it could be more deliberate than it is.
It's giving me a little bit of the Sonic Boom vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played that or seen like videos of that, but it has like a very big world with not much to do in it. I think. Oh whoa! Nothing. That's what they say in the game. Oh, they're saying if you right-click the thumbstick, you toggle speed, which is actually very important.
Oh, sheesh. Okay, great.
Oh, there you go.
What is happening?
Oh, you're like using some sort of power-up?
You know, for a game as simple as this, like,
Oh, there you go.
there are an awful lot of buttons, but yeah. No, I just wasn't paying attention at the beginning, which is how these things go. Oh, and I still have the
rocker.
Where is it?
There you go. Yeah, so this is a game that could probably benefit with like a little bit of a mini map.
Oh yeah, I think that's probably true.
Yeah. I was actually going to say that with Pestilence, but I almost want Pestilence to not have a mini map because it's a game that kind of wants you to like be 100% aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. I'm also slightly disadvantaged in that I am used to Y invert.
Oh, are you? Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a Y invert person.
Well, we can't be friends.
I am sorry. This is it. This is the end. This is the end of the mark.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, so in the chat they're saying to throw while fishing, click the left D-pad while fishing.
Yeah, I saw that when the instructions were given to me when I had that rock stuck to me and it didn't work. But I think that was an edge case. I don't think that's I don't know how likely that is to reoccur. It is seeing my lure just like constantly spinning is a little bit worrying. There's no mechanical reason for it to continue doing that. I think it's just the physics engine.
Yeah.
Okay, well it looks like I do like that. Like it seems like I just get sheep after sheep, but I totally get now. There's like there's things to discover in the environment, right? It's like I get it. There's definitely a sheep in there that I'm going to rescue. It's very fun.
Or what?
I just don't think I got it.
Or interesting. Maybe you have to stop the wolves.
I mean, I could pick up a wolf, could I?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that poor wolf! Oh man, dude. You just toss that puppy.
Oh, that is so cruel. I really didn't expect this game to have any offensive mechanics. You know what I mean? It's obvious you could pick up anything, but it just didn't occur to me to pick up a wolf. I just didn't think that'd be the type of thing my character would do. I'm not sure how logical a reasoning that is. In my head. I was just assuming that fishing out the sheep would be the answer.
I think this could have been like a moment with multiple solutions.
Yeah, but also it could be that you want the player to try to fish out the sheep, but then give some indication that that's not possible.
Yeah.
Like, oh, your lure doesn't have homing technology, or the bush is too.
You can't
there's
pierce the
too much
bush.
bramble. Yeah, exactly. Some indicator, because then the player could try that, like I did, and then feel good about having that thought, because it wasn't that the game doesn't respond; it's that the game tells you, nope, that's not it. And I saw that sheep fly out, so that's the resulting sheep.
Yeah.
Although maybe it shouldn't have flown
that-
out so far.
I think the idea was like the giving player rewards for having good thoughts or being smart.
Yeah, and rewards don't always mean gameplay mechanical rewards. Sometimes they just mean more content, more information.
Yeah, or a little bit of feedback, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Look at them all.
You can call out the sheep? Okay, so like maybe that's why you don't need a map, it's because you can call the sheep.
Oh, I was looking up. I didn't see what that thing said. And, I missed it on the screen. What did it say?
You could call the sheep. I didn't say what button.
Uh-huh.
So maybe mash a couple buttons and figure out where you're...
I'm gonna do this laser part.
That is definitely laser part.
Cool. There's no better way to travel. Of course, it didn't help my my perpetual lure spinning.
Yeah.
It's like a plunger, though, right? It's very cute.
Oh, it is.
I love it.
Super a plunder.
Oh, there you are.
There you go.
I was gonna say, what's the range of this thing?
Oh wow, that's pretty far. See, I can already feel how this game could expand, and I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. The core mechanic of this thing is just so... It is a little wonky, I'll admit, but just the concept and the basic execution, the find a thing, get in position, activate the fishing mode, send the lure. It's really satisfying. I could see the entire full 20 hours of doing this, as long as I don't have to get things out of a tiny crevice like I have to now.
Yeah. I would say, I don't know if you played much of Sonic Adventure, but the cat sequence where you were fishing. So like, that was like a really weird game mechanic for Sonic. Like, honestly, like, put fishing game like that in Sonic was really weird play, but the fishing game itself is cute and adorable.
Yeah.
I could see like if this game wanted to lean heavily into it, it would be just fine. Like you could like make it so that like you complete and save your sheep, and then people see you and like they start hiring you and commissioning you to come out and rescue. Oh no! Oh!
I know, I see it coming. It's not, I can't quite get into position. I'm having some problems with the geometry.
Oh, yeah, you probably have to save the wolf because the sheep is scared.
F you, wolf.
What? Hit.
The wolf is stuck
and
everybody is stuck. And then you're running away? Come on, man. I'm getting you.
Oh, you're gonna pucker up the sheep.
Whatever.
Oh, I guess you.
Oh, see, this is not good.
Oh yeah, no, that's just you have to get the right angle there.
Yeah.
Oh, this dirty sheep.
Yeah, I think this is just a bit of Chromie level geometry, which was probably not expected when it was being designed.
Yeah. Because they are definitely made to like their AI is definitely meant to like meander a little bit.
Yeah.
This is just like a unfortunate hitbox detection.
You're mine.
Nice.
Alright.
3 more.
3 more.
So apparently, again, there's a button to call out to sheep. I just don't know what it was.
Good. A shepherd's eye view of the whole area.
Shepherd's eye. The shepherd's pie view.
Because now I wandered around a little bit, so I have not been going through it methodically. So I'm not totally certain what I missed. I mean, that's on me.
But there's also a lot, like, I wonder how explorable this world is.
Yeah, it looks like here's the boundaries here. That's reasonable. Like, I don't mind an invisible wall. I have no problem with that.
Also, I'm gonna critique something. This is a terrible place to have a farmer to farm. Why
Don't judge me. Hey, a ram.
Is that a sheep?
No, it's a ram.
sheep.
I mean, you know.
Well, we're gonna fish them up anyway, so.
I cannot go below, so I need to go further up.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize I could go any further up. Oh, that Y invert. Again, that's on me.
I guess it is.
Perhaps this was meant to be the last one you discover. Although in the UI, does it treat it as a?
It did. It counted as one of the sheeps.
There, I'll fix it.
Push your sheep call button.
Yeah, what is it? All I know is laser.
I'm guessing it's the D-pad or something on the D-pad.
Oh, okay.
Nothing?
No, focus.
Oh, okay. Button.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, right bumper. It just there's no animation associated with it. Or at least not that I can see. Maybe he's got a kazoo. He blows into. I've done a very poor search grid. So clearly, definitely my fault. Like 100%. Where should I go?
Check underneath there. I'm gonna say the waterfalls.
Oh right, video games with waterfalls need to have things behind the waterfalls.
Exactly. No, that's 100% it. Like, if this is a video game that has waterfalls, you gotta go investigate. I have 100% it. Every time I go check a waterfall place, I have to go underneath it. Aww. Oh, my heart's broken. Game design.
D+. I mean, you get a little bit of points for the waterfall, but you lose a lot by not putting something back there.
Yeah. Oh, that one has promise. That one.
This one does, in fact. It looks like there's even some geometry back there.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
There we go. Yeah! Oh,
Oh, this is just the... That's the exit.
Okay.
There might be more sheep. My shepherd's instinct.
Yes.
I can count to 15 or whatever. Everything. I mean, it's so cute. It's just like I feel like I've circumnavigated this area a couple times, but I'm not bored by it yet.
Oh no!
Which is a real risk for a game where we have to search around. That's a huge strength.
Yeah. I actually think it's a good thing about this game is that this game, while you're searching around, like searching is the fun thing to do. Like yes, you're hunting for sheep, but you're having a good time while flying around.
Yeah.
Like even like those particles shooting back at you, flying back and forth.
Yeah.
You really feel good. Like, and they're really a small thing to do, but it makes the game feel so alive.
Yeah.
Like this game would not feel as good without that, or for like all the other little touches. Like this flying plunger. I know you're complaining about this flying plunger, but I actually like the little plunger physics. It's like fun and entertaining, just like watch it bobble while you're looking for sheep.
Oh, it just seems kind of perpetual motion-y, I guess.
Yeah.
There's some like wiggly, some procedural animation as a result of physics. I think that's a very strong feature to have. It just seems it's a little distracting, is all. There's a balance that can be found, I'm sure. Like, I mean, I don't. Maybe the idea was it was funny to always have it dangling out there, but maybe having it really short, just dangling just below his feet, while it's not being deployed, might be still silly, but not. Because occasionally I'll be like, it whips by the screen and I'll wonder what it is. I'm like, oh, it's just that plunger.
Chat's asking if you want a hint.
Sorry, I do want a hint.
Chat's
Yeah.
asking if you want a hint.
Oh, I have no shame. Please tell me what to do.
Yes, give this man some hints. I want to say it's on the left.
Over this way? Oh, I see one.
Yeah, okay. I'm just like speculating this. obviously probably like a sheep in every area, and you haven't checked out every single like crevice yet.
I think part of the I will say
out,
part of the problem with this one that I just found is that it didn't occur to me that would be a place to put it on, because I need to get really in there. And if the mechanic is I have a fishing pole and I'm floating from a balloon, I wouldn't expect to have to go into a crevice.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean? Or I would have to get within 3 feet of it to find it. And so just naturally, I wouldn't assume that it would be buried that deep behind a single tree. I mean, behind a tree in like this group of trees here at the bottom, I could totally see it being there, but I could still reach it from floating above.
Chad is saying that there's actually one behind a waterfall, but you have to call out to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Probably not this one, because I think that's the level exit.
Yeah. Am I hitting? Oh, I am. My audio is not coming through on my end. That's my bad. Okay, so not that one. At least I don't think.
Alright. Developers, you redeem yourself by putting a sheep behind a waterfall.
It's true. That's all we asked, really.
Yes. That's all I wanted. Gotta bleed for that sheep. Oh, it's your baby. There is an animation attached to it.
It's the lamb.
Yeah.
Or that you, or whatever, yeah.
That's adorable. Okay, that's well done.
That's pretty cute.
We couldn't see it before, but oh, that's super cute.
Oh, I see I saw a little pixel sheep yell behind this waterfall. But it was up here. Yeah,
Okay, I see it.
That is not a safe spot.
Oh, you gotta fish for him. I don't think you can fly into it. I think you gotta
Yeah,
fish
probably.
I'm okay with that. This is it. This is a different kind of challenge here.
Yeah.
Which, like blind cast. Or not? Or what? Maybe?
Yeah, I guess I don't know exactly where to, because I lose my cursor when it's in the middle of the waterfall.
Yeah, I guess you just go for it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or try calling out someone. Maybe it'll trigger something, like he'll jump out.
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying use a rock. Oh, I see what you're getting to. That's smart.
Throw a rock at the sheep? What are you, monsters?
No.
I mean,
not,
okay.
Yeah, see, okay, so like there's some tutorial things here.
Yeah.
Like for my game not having a tutorial.
Yeah, you're one.
Exactly. But no, I see the cool things happening. And that not only like you're just not fishing for sheep, you're also like exploring with the environment, and I think that's really cool idea. So like you could to expand on this game, yes, easily. Just like put things you can do in the environment, like rescue the cat for a lady from a tree. Like you're hunting for your sheep, but you can also like rescue cat rescue.
Yeah, targeting is kind of tricky here to get this bounce.
Yeah. Or just like physics it, like physics the rock to the thing. You know, it worked many times before.
Yeah. I dropped it, but it went immediately off screen, so I don't know where it is.
Threw it up actually. I think that was it's up there. See.
Oh, okay.
I almost wanted to like be like one rock is enough to stop this waterfall, but that wouldn't make no sense.
Yeah, so that's the idea. Is I stopped the water. Right?
No, I think you're supposed to break it. You're supposed to use it to like throw it and break the thing. Or maybe you're right. Maybe you're supposed to stop the waterfall. There's no way that one rock is supposed to, right?
I wouldn't imagine so. But there's like two streams, so that kind of implies there's two rocks. But I don't see any evidence of that happening yet. Yeah, without that hint, I don't know that I'd have any indication that this is what I was supposed to do.
Oh, for sure not.
And honestly, I still don't know.
Within like the scope of the time frame they had for the game, I totally understand. Like, skipping a tutorial is probably tutorial's a lot of work. So
yeah.
Just like skipping it and just having a person standing there to explain it is much better. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Those little beats, man. I want to know if there was actually a voice actor or if they actually like, found like a little man. Because I think that's not possible. He's gonna cast it up there? Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I can't go any higher than that.
Sure. I'm guessing you have to break the thing versus try and dam it.
I honestly don't know.
Whoa.
Okay.
What? Okay, yeah.
So it looks
So
like
you-
you.
It was supposed to snap.
I
to
think
that one spot,
I think that's enough, right? I think that's enough. I think I can
Yeah.
see it through there.
Yeah. It's definitely like the you were supposed to throw one rock and snap it to that spot, particularly.
Yeah, it seems so.
But this was cute. I dig this.
Last time I let you stay out past bedtime.
Oh, is there a second stage of this?
I think this is where it may either be the end or if there's where I get that wolf collapse. Laser farts.
Shout out to laser parts, man.
I have to keep holding down. The sound effect for laser fart is excellent. I really love it. Oh wait, this is the wrong way. That's where I was pointing before the cutscene took over, and I thought the cutscene turned me around.
It means more time for more laser parts, man.
True.
What? Was there a cooldown or did it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait, is this the start? No,
Yeah.
See, now I'm confused. This is where the signposting I think would be really valuable.
No, that was the exit. I think you didn't miss the trigger. Something like fly into it more. Or the other way. That's a beautiful one.
No. Yeah, it is. Look, the water shaders are excellent. I really like them. I like how that background is just a ghost, like a painting.
Yeah,
Like
more stuff.
It's so, I love it. It's perfect. It's exactly what this game like the style really like works for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you could easily do like other types of geometry or whatever to like cheat that, but no, you want a painting. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
No, that was the right. I'm
right way.
completely turned around.
It's
Yeah.
just,
I'm not being difficult on purpose. I really honestly was confused as to where to go.
I think there's some like hitboxes and stuff like that need to get checked out as well.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
because
because like triggered here, like way
the
over.
waterfall previously went straight down, and so I
Yeah.
guess that's what was confusing about it. Oh, okay. So it was just the trigger there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that wolf is incredible.
Yeah, oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the boss battle, right? We saw this in the trailer.
Oh, I didn't know there. I knew there was a. I didn't know this was the boss battle.
Yeah. I don't stand a chance. Is basically what I'm getting at.
Now, I'm curious to see how this boss battle plays out.
I seem to recall from the trailer you throw rocks at it. And also, the game has taught me up to now that rocks are throwable, so I don't think that's a hard thing. I think that's well tutorialized by this point.
Okay.
The question is like, under what threat am I? Like, does it throw things at me?
Oh,
Yes,
it
it does.
Oh, you don't have any life bar though. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know how that works exactly.
Yeah, no, that would have been interesting to like implement a life bar. This game doesn't want it though because it's so like kid friendly. Like it's so like this game is fun and shenanigans. It doesn't want a life bar.
Yeah, I keep in fishing mode. I keep having difficulty knowing what the limits of my fishing ability are.
Yeah.
Like what the bounds are. Like this seems to be way too close to me. I don't know if that's been the case in the past or I'm just looking at it funny.
Yeah, because
And then when I threw it, it
is
just
a
threw it.
different range. Yeah, throwing is a different
Yeah.
range.
Right, I'm
So
not
it-
throwing it in the direction of fishing, but I need to be in fishing mode to throw it.
And I think this is it's a weird control scheme because they said that when you were fishing, you have to hold fishing and push the left trigger or left D.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing, but I was assuming the cursor was relevant there. But it must just be I just aim my camera, but I can't actually move any higher.
So the left D-pad is there you go. So
right, but I can't see where I'm throwing.
Oh really?
Yeah, because when I fish, I can only move the camera based on where this cursor is, which is weirdly floating above me now.
Yeah. Hitbox, okay.
No, I think the cursor is not on the ground.
Yeah, I think it's slightly up there. Oh, that was a good hit. Hurt.
Yeah, see, I can't look any higher than this.
Really? You can't look lower? Higher or lower?
I can't look higher.
Weird.
Alright, and then now when I want to throw, I can't move the camera at all to like aim. I know where I can see him at his feet. I can do that. And that seems.
Oh, so like, yeah. So that last camera angle change is when you are throwing, and that's not when you're pushing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen the glimpse of it, but.
I mean, can I just walk up to it with my my spinning?
100% physics him. Physics him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just having controller issues. Chat's saying that once you're in throwing, you can move the throwing cursor, but it's just having controller issues.
What? In throwing? Does that mean just the fishing mode?
Yeah. So if they're saying that you have to be in fishing mode, be in fishing, hold down the trigger, and then you push left D-pad.
Oh, I hold down the left D-pad and the trigger.
Oh.
Oh,
you have to hold it? Oh, that's so weird.
Okay. It's a mode unto a mode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be really blunt. I do not like that. I would have never in my entire life figured that out on my own, and I think I would have probably had to been told 6 times in the tutorial text.
Yeah,
and I probably was told once or twice. I bet the game did tell me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did too. But I'll be honest in that on a controller scheme wise, throw should just be a different button, and like it could be like a whatever your button is to release sheep or something. Like
yeah. And so I don't need to hold down the left D-pad or left D-pad. I just press it, and then it goes into that mode. So I grab it. I've got it now. I'm holding down the trigger to be in fishing mode. I tap the left D-pad, and that looks like I'm now in throwing mode.
Yeah. That's what they said. Yes.
And then if I let go of the trigger, it throws it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that seems a little strange. Like
it's a little complicated.
It does not need to be this complicated. Like there are certainly systems where a system like that should be that complicated. But this game does not have enough controls, I think, to demand that. Perhaps. Also, when I'm in throwing mode, can I cancel?
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm maybe like if you just let go on left.
No, because that throws it.
Oh, does it? Oh, then.
Yeah. So like if I'm I'm in throwing mode and I'm like, oh, I'm too far away. How do I cancel? Yeah. Like right now it's walking.
Yeah. Let it go of fishing won't do anything.
No, that throws it.
Okay, yeah. So there's no way to not throw cancel.
Yeah. Kind of wait. I do appreciate that I can't die. At least that's what it seems like. Or I'm just super good at dodging his shots.
Oh, no,
that's also a possibility. Don't laugh.
No. Damn it. It's hard to not laugh when you say don't laugh.
And I need to anticipate where he's gonna be.
Yeah,
okay, there we go. I think it was my first hit. I think perhaps.
I think what this game is looking for is that I'm okay there. Like this game does not need a life bar at all. This game
I do sort of love that it's just like go till you get them. Like I don't know how tolerant players would be of that amount of forgiveness, but I'm on board with it. Like I have no problem with letting me go till I get it.
Yeah, this game is wanting to be like that. Like
yeah, the only punishment I need to spend more time.
Yeah, in stark contrast to Pestilence, which is a game of like a get good or else. This game is like a have fun.
Right. can I fish for him?
Oh God. Mark, this is a family friendly stream. Watch where you're fishing there.
No.
You cannot fish from gold. Like, not this one.
Well, that's lame. Actually, that's perfectly reasonable.
You're exploring here?
I assume this was the. No, it's just this cave.
Oh, can you hide in there?
I mean, I don't know why I would.
Yeah, no, pick up the sheep. I want to know if you can hide in there and if he'll like target you in that area or not.
I mean, sorry, I didn't see the sheep there.
I'm just curious of like just trying to break the game AI wise now.
Oh, you want me to go into the cave
Yeah,
now?
just to see if he'll like track you or not. Oh yeah, there we go. Smart wolf. Smart wolf. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good AI.
Yeah, the targeting does seem pretty good. Like it doesn't feel machiney, you know. I mean, I'm not sure how much intelligence it needs, but it does seem to be, you know.
Whatever they did was right on.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm in love with the idea of like being rewarded by with a sheep, because you know what I mean. Like, it just gives me more to do. Every time I knock him down, I get a new sheep.
Yep.
Like that flies out of him. Like, forget video game logic. Like, I don't know that I need to do that. It just seems like extra busy worky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely game for game. Game.
Yeah.
What did it say? Like, this is the most gamery game ever.
Yeah.
This is definitely just like don't think hard about it, just do it. Have fun.
Well, I just mean that once I hit him once, I'm just happy with a timeout before he gets up again, you know. And then at the end, I'm just rewarded with all the sheep that he's kept hidden.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm okay. I'm okay with that too. Yeah. This could have just been like a HP meter type of thing, or like a Mario. Like, don't even need HP. 3 hits and you're done. That's all this fight needed to be. and like he gets a little bit more aggressive between every hit, like just like Mario. Like Mario boss fights are like both super simple but also genius for the simplicity. Like you make every phase one hit a new phase, you make it a little bit more complicated. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. And then you get back to doing the thing that you love the most about this game, which is hunting for your sheep.
Yeah. And I keep trying to anticipate where the wolf's gonna be, but the throw is a lot slower than even I can predict.
I think you just gotta just wait it out.
Yeah, just wait till he's standing. Did she do it? Nope, he moves. There's not a lot of tells for when he's gonna start and stop moving.
Yep. I think it's like when he goes to pick up a rock.
That's kind of interpretable.
Just go throw a rock, walk around, take aim, ready up, wait for him to stand still. He's gonna pick up another rock and you're gonna throw it at him. There you go.
And the camera resets kind of for where I was pointed last, which is tricky. So one thing about it though is that clearly because I didn't see it earlier. I've tested that the wolf will lay on the ground for an infinite amount of time until I pick up the sheep.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind a little time pressure there. So if you're gonna have the wolf fall on a sheep like that, which like I said, I'm not a huge fan of, but if you're gonna do that, I wouldn't mind there being you have to get to it before the wolf picks it up again. I mean, that would make this level even more frustrating. But if there were other things that made it less frustrating, that would be a really motivating. I would enjoy that tension, I think.
Yeah, I actually agree to this because you could basically have you could even tie it into the story in that the wolf is like wearing a sheep belt or something.
Yeah, or just like a giant wicker basket,
On his backpack.
wicker backpack, yeah, filled with them. And they're all crying out the entire time.
Exactly. Oh
And
yeah.
when and when you knock him over, he falls on his back, so only one falls over.
Exactly.
Falls out, right?
And then he's stunned for a little bit of time, and then you only have to do 3 sheep. That'd be perfect.
I'm okay with more than 3, but I see your point.
Yeah.
Oh, did I already throw it? Oh, man.
Imagine this fight having little bleeding sheeps in the background, and it would make my heart like. It made me want to like play better.
Yeah, it definitely leans, like mechanically it's hardly any different, but it leans into the emotion of the scene, right? Which is valuable. See now he's walking. I was like, do I just give up this rock or do I wait for him to get all the way over?
Oh, so he definitely.
And then the camera.
He definitely attacks in like a 3 like 3 specific or like a triangle spots. So. But no, like for all of our naysaying of this, like this game is great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're just being nitpicky because we.
No, that's the key. You have to like. Sometimes the game has something that's so unbelievably fantastic that this game has. It can be really easy to just be like, and all the other problems or whatever. But like, it's important to like, when something's not working, to really not give it a pass because players certainly, customers certainly will.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing too. Is like, as a player, we're playing a game, but if we were customers, yeah, so that's a good.
Yeah, how quickly would you bounce off of something like this? Like, and it's difficult because in playtests, you generally have, even when we're trying to be brutal, playtesters are way kinder than you think they are. They're like even if they're not having a good time with your game, they will spend more time with it. And I think that a game like this has so many magic moments, but
there we go.
But it's so easy to lose that. But it's really easy to lose all the goodwill that you get just by one frustrating thing. And it's so annoying because as a developer, you're like, it's not even a big problem. And you're right, it's not a big problem. But there are so many times that a player will just be like, well, this is the thing I won't forgive it for.
Yeah.
And that is, that's why it's all a really bad idea that any of us are making games. It's just the worst idea. We're all idiots.
Yeah. Aww.
I keep hitting the wrong button and I get the sheep bleed. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, cute.
So it's a happy happy reward.
Get some sheep in chat. Some please.
Because when I turn around, I don't know how long it's been standing now.
Yep.
So I end up misjudging that.
Just play it safe. We got one more hit.
Yeah.
And just preemptively aim and maybe a little farther up.
Nope, I can't go any further. Let's see.
I'm gonna walk this way. No, he walked the other way. No.
It doesn't matter. I was too far away anyway.
No, if he was walking towards you, that would have hit for sure.
Oh, I suppose if that was the case, yeah. I'll get this last one.
Well, this is a particularly big rock.
Yeah. Getting into position is kind of tricky, I think.
Oh yeah, this game is all about like positioning and stuff like that. Like, as far as like his interest / difficulty curve, this game. What?
Okay, I got it.
Oh,
But it's still walking though. It triggered its walk cycle before it triggered.
Whoa!
Oh, and I didn't get the kill.
No, the sheep is on the ground. Is he gonna pick up on that sheep?
Is the sheep somewhere?
Oh no, it's on the ground. Yeah.
I finally broke it. I finally broke this game.
Yeah, we broke the game.
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, we broke every game on stream. Success.
Wait. Where is the? I just successfully defeated it. It's still there, throwing crap at me. But
Yep.
I love that menu transition. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a little flower white. It's amazing. Eat that.
Oh, the blast.
No, yeah, this is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with the UW stock presentations. Like the amount of
Oh, for sure, yeah. Every year they put out great stuff, and this batch was really, really cool. For people on the stream who are interested, at the last week's monthly meeting, a bunch of these teams did postmortems and talked about their projects. So you can check that out on the Twitch videos for this channel if you want to hear more about each one of these games. Yeah.
Oh, they're giving you a little spoiler. Click on the sheep.
Oh, let me use my gamepad here.
Oh. Adorable. Yeah. And for these games and more, I just posted into the Discord there. If you're interested in seeing more games or playing for these yourself,
oh yeah,
go ahead and check out the UW Stout. Their Stout Games Expo was digital this year because of the whole Backstreet Boys reunion tour. But if you want to check out it's great. All these games are good stuff, man. Yeah, no, like I really like this game. They're like every single game we played has potential. It's just gotta make it like it's gotta pick a direction. Like the hardest part for this game, I feel, is picking its direction, because you want it to be I feel like you want it to be an easy feel good game, like having no HP bar, having boss fights be easy, or like non-punishing, like doesn't reset, no death animation, like none of that's necessary. Zoom. But yeah, I'm okay saying that this game wants to be like, again, like Mario easy fights, like hit a boss 3 times, super easy, quirky fun, make boss fights interesting between phases, and then have really fun areas to explore. And then like the whole, like I mentioned, like the little like Ollie-Oops is esque of like side esque adventure stuff to do, like do that. Like you're fishing for your sheep in fun areas. Like one stage you're in this hill valley, and next stage, another stage you could be in like Europe. That'd be great. Like you're in Venice. Like that game has great room, and as long as you make the environments that inviting and that beautiful and that fun to fly around in, like you have a great deal. This is a great game there.
Yeah. I think the one feedback I'd have, just stealing all of my, incessant whining during the boss battle, would be basically to let the player take more risks. I think I kept, when I was being cavalier, the game really punished me. And that was true in the overworld, in the main level as well. When I would be like, oh, I'm going to zip to this area. I'm like, oh, no, I went too far. I got to turn around and reposition myself and all that. It's like you were saying with like other 3D platformers, like sort of cutesy style games like that. You should feel free to be a little less precise with your handling, and not be punished so much. I'm not sure. I don't have any solutions for that. But I think I would love to be able to play that boss battle and make a risky throw. Like, and if I miss, fine. I can always quickly grab another one. But because the getting a new rock and getting into position to aim and all of that is a very long multi-step process, every throw I make has to count. And every time I don't spend an extra 3 seconds aiming, I feel really bad about myself. And so that's, I mean, independent of the actual handling of the controls, I think that loop should probably be a little shorter, or it should lean into how long and difficult it is. Like perhaps make it so that the boss, the wolf, can only be hit sometimes, and so you kind of getting into position has some value, because meanwhile the wolf can't be hit anyway. So you have enough time to get in position, and then enough time to wait for your perfect opportunity. Then it makes that longer loop more of a piece, perhaps. There are other ways to handle it, and it really depends on the overall feeling you want from it, right? Like it all boils down to that. Like like we said when we were talking about Pestilence or other games, there's a way to do it anyway, and make it successful, but it depends on how you want it to feel to the player, and then you judge it based on that. It's not, is it too fast, is it too slow, is it too tricky to handle, or is it too loose? Like those are all like physical realities. It's, does this achieve the feeling we want to achieve, right?
Yep.
And I think in a lot of cases, a lot of these stout games, and certainly I think Cube does this really well, to put praise on you, Peter. And Ollie-Oop has been working on this hard. Like I said, a lot of the stout games, like they've mastered that execution really well in a lot of areas.
Like every one of these games has they have a player feel in mind and they hit it very well. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't know what the curriculum's like over at Stout, but I'm sure they're drilling that into their students pretty well.
Again, I'm impressed every year. I look forward to next year's submissions. Maybe hopefully we'll be able to do it in person. But anything else, thank you guys for stopping by. It is 9 o'clock, and you guys are stepping past the extra hour here.
I think we can put a button on it. This was a pretty good test run. We had enough people to have a little good discussion. We had a couple of guests, and we played a bunch of games. So it went really well. Hopefully we'll do this bigger. Yeah, we'll do this bigger and better next month. And so those of you in the chat and watching, if you've got a game that you'd like us to play next month, or you know someone who does, or you had a good time, be sure to show up next time to tell you about it. Third Wednesday of every month. So let me check the calendar. What's that going to be next month?
It's right here.
That's going to be June 17th, tentatively. Will be the next time we do this. In the meantime, next week, there's the VR and HCI event that's taking place in AltSpace, but we also stream it here on Twitch. So if you don't have a VR headset, you can still watch that presentation and hang out with those folks on Twitch. And then, of course, the second Wednesday of every month is the main meeting, and that will be coming up on the 10th, most likely. So I guess that's all for us. Anything left to say, Peter, before we sign off?
Again, like you said, if people want to go ahead and submit games to be tested, but also if you want to come play with us, feel free to download it, because I would love to see this scale up a bit more. Right now we just tested a bunch of games here, but ideally we could probably get like 3-5 players on a game, and we haven't done any multiplayer games, unfortunately.
Let me resolve to make sure we have Metro Nexus for next month. And I see we've got Charles in chat. I wouldn't mind seeing Fingeance tested here as well. So you got a local multiplayer game, and in this time of Corona, it is tough to get your local multiplayer game tested. So and certainly not just with players, but also with an audience. So that's the venue we're trying to provide here. So if you got a game like that, send it our way, and we'll make sure we get players for you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, until next time, I have no funny or interesting slogan to end this with. So goodbye, I guess.
Have a good night, folks.